Hi, I'm Steve Parry and I'm here to tell you about British Gas Swim Britain. British Gas, they've got a great aim. They want to get more people swimming regularly by 2015. So in order to take part in Swim Britain, you've got a team challenge. There's 4 of you. You've all got to swim 1,000 metres. You do 250 metres each in a relay until you've done the 1,000 metres. Swim Britain is going to help you get fitter and healthier, and they're even going to give you tips along the way. It's all going to accumulate in 10 events in September at venues across the country. Now, logistics of this event are super easy. You're going to get a swimming cap, a t-shirt and a timing chip. You pick them up at the venue on the day. So all you need to think about is the regular stuff. Your swimming goggles and a pair of trunks. You could wear these or perhaps some of these. You might want 2 towels as well instead of 1. So you'll need 1 towel for poolside and also a towel for when you get changed at the end. Maybe a bit of shampoo as well. And last but not least, make sure you take some water with you. So how does the Swim Britain relay work? Well, you've got to get your teammates. Here's one of mine, me Chris, just happens to be an international swimmer. I'll have some of that. He's going to lead off. Let's go, Chris. Yes. When he's done his 250 metres, he's got to make sure that his timing chip registers. Don't worry, there'll be people there on the day to make sure that that happens. Chris is then going to walk over to his second teammate, who's going to be in the transition area, and he's going to give him a high five. Nice high five. Then Chris is done. He's good to go. He can go have a little bit of a rest. It's going to get very crowded if all of you are waiting at the end of the pool. So we've got a rule. Only the person that's swimming next can be in the transition zone. So Swim Britain's going to be like no event you've ever done before, largely because of these bad boys. They're actually called boys, and you're going to have to swim around them. When you're swimming down the pool, you've got to keep the buoy to your left-hand side. And when you're swimming back up the pool, you've got to keep it to your right-hand side. Just keep an eye out for them. Big orange things, can't miss them. Stay as tight as you can to the buoy. You've only got to swim 250 metres. There's no point swimming any more than that if you don't have to. Once you've got your team together, make sure you get the opportunity to train together. Set yourself both an individual goal. You know what? Challenge the other guys on your team as well. You might surprise yourself and with some good training, beat the time that you thought you were going to go. What about making some hoodies with your team name on there? You're taking on everyone else in Swim Britain. You've got to get in there with the right frame of mind. Maybe you want to go in some fancy dress. I don't suggest you swim in the fancy dress. That might slow you down a little bit. Maybe you can even come up with your own song, you know. I can see all 4 of you doing the Gangnam Style. Maybe not. But most of all, make sure there's some cracking banter between you and your teammates, and let's maximise the fun that we're going to have on Swim Britain. Good luck and enjoy.
A very good morning to you from the Wales National Pool in Swansea, and a warm welcome to Quipu TV's live coverage of Day 4 of the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals. So 3 days done, 4 to go, and we'll continue to bring you the action from all 20 sessions of top-class swimming, featuring the very best of Welsh swimming talent, and the opportunity to see them competing against swimmers from across the UK who've travelled here to Swansea for this fantastic event. 1,700 swimmers have made it here from clubs far and wide across the UK, Scotland, the southeast of England, the north of England, and of course all parts of the Kingdom of Wales. And that makes the Summer Nationals one of the UK's largest meets. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and I'm joined once again in the commentary box this morning by Mark Tancock, the Regional Business Manager with Swim Wales. Morning, Mark. Well, we had a really good day yesterday. You're now on your third day on the commentary position, so a seasoned professional now.
It's going to be an exciting day.
So today we've got breaststroke and backstroke, so a little bit different maybe from what we've seen so far. What are we looking for from the youngsters in the breaststroke? What should we be asking the viewers to focus on?
Well, I think the breaststroke is such a unique stroke in itself, so that lots of swimmers have different styles of breaststroke, technique-wise as well. You'll see different techniques in the pool, but it's going to be an exciting few heats. Obviously, the boys are up first, followed by the girls, and we're looking forward to a really fantastic day.
So we'll hear lots more from Mark as the morning progresses, but we'd like to hear from you as well. So give us your thoughts and your reactions. You can do that using the hashtag BGSNLive. That's hashtag BGSNLive. And we'll be delighted to pick up on your messages. It also would be remiss of me not to mention the commercial partners of Swim Wales, particularly British Gas, who have helped us to provide this coverage. So we're very grateful to them for all their support of swimming across the UK and, of course, here in Wales. So the pool has now been cleared. You can see we've got a good crew in on the gallery, all waiting expectantly for the action underway. Of course, all heats this morning, and the fastest 8 from each of the age groups will progress through to the finals, which will be swum this evening. Will they be very aware of what they think they need to do to make it to a final? I imagine they will be.
They definitely will, and you could see the coaches poolside then speaking to the swimmers while they were doing their warm-up. They'll be giving them the advice and making sure that their tactics are right for the race ahead as well. And you know, it's going to be really exciting because I think we've got some really good swimmers in the breaststroke coming up, and 11 to 14 boys to start us off. It's going to be an exciting few races.
So you can see the young lads from the first couple of heats there just gathering and ready to go. We're still waiting for the officials to come onto poolside, so we will still be a few minutes away. So just a chance to run through the programme we've got this morning. We've got the boys 11 to 1400 breaststroke, and we've got 10 heats to go in that. Of course, that will then divide into 2 age groups, 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 for this evening's final. We then got the same again with the girls, 10 to 13, so they operate a year younger. 10-11 age group and a 12-13 age group, and once again we've got 10 heats there. Then we move to backstroke, and the 14 to 18 year olds 100 backstroke with 11 heats for the boys and 11 heats as well for the girls, so evenly balanced between the two genders. And then we're back to breaststroke, 50 breaststrokes to finish off the morning for the older swimmers. And we've got 3 heats only for the boys, so a good chunk of them will be swimming again. And then finally the 50 breaststroke for girls with 5 heats. So that's what's coming up this morning. The officials now making their way onto poolside, as you can see. So they are almost ready to go, and we are almost ready to go for day 4 of the Welsh Summer Nationals. You can there see on the boards on the side of the pool some of the commercial supporters of swimming here in Wales. British Gas, of course, but also Speedo, Kellogg's, Daktronics, the timing specialists.
The session referee is Chris Jones.
While we just getting our officials organised, one of them maybe lined up slightly the wrong place there. Here are our referees and starters.
Jones. And can I have an
And
especially
behind
warm
them
round
is
of
the
applause
timing box,
for
so that's where
the
all the
referee
electronics
of the
get managed
50s
from.
this morning,
A
Susan
very
Little,
important
who's been
function
visiting us
that
from
they
Scotland,
fulfill.
but she has to go home today. So thank you, Susan, for all your hard work, and it's been great welcoming you here.
So it's showing as 9:07
Take your seats.
on the clock at the moment, scheduled to start at 9:10, so just about 2 or 3 minutes away now. Nice shot there of the gallery, and there's the view from the top of the gallery, looking diagonally across the pool to the turn end. See a very light, airy pool, this one. Good lighting, and also the windows on the far side letting in lots of natural light. And it's not a bad day here in Swansea today. Not quite as sunny as it was yesterday, although it looks like there is a bit of sun now glinting through the clouds. So hopefully we're going to have another nice day here in South Wales.
Yeah, we've been very lucky here in South Wales as far as the weather is concerned. But yesterday was a bit more of a darker day, but today's a bit more lighter, and you can see that through the glass on the side of the pool here as well, as the swimmers just come out onto poolside now and start. I'm sure they'll just be starting their stretch, and I think we're ready for the first heat as well.
So there are the first set of swimmers. We've got a full 8 swimmers scheduled to go in the first heat. It looks like they're all there, just counting across, and I think we have got all 8 standing there waiting expectantly. I think they probably will wait until the clock clicks through to 9:10 before they get them going. That's important because the meet runs on call times, and the swimmers will have times when they're scheduled to go to the call room. So it is important that the meet runs to that schedule and keeps everything clicking along nicely.
Yes, the officials will be tight on the times as well, and making sure that this is run to schedule. The swimmers will a bit more longer at the starting blocks than they're used to, most probably, but you can see them just warming up there and just shaking off the cobwebs from last night, and they'll be ready to go this morning.
Yep, so I guess it's about trying to keep loose, trying not to let the nerves build up, particularly for these youngsters, all these swimmers in the first heat, 11 and 12-year-olds, so fairly young, inexperienced swimmers at this stage in their careers. Of course, we're into day 4 of the meet now, so pretty sure that most of these will have been competing already in the earlier 3 days. So not quite such an unknown as perhaps it was on day 1.
Or could we even do a Mexican wave, do you think? What a good idea.
If you're coaching a young, inexperienced swimmer swimming their first nationals, what sort of things do you tell them?
Well, I think sometimes nerves don't even come into it because they're so young, you know. But if more experienced swimmers sometimes struggle with nerves, maybe even more so than the young ones. The young ones are a bit more maybe fearless and ready to go. So as the officials try and start a Mexican wave around the pool, and
they're all going. So it's a Mexican wave or a Welsh wave. So going down the side of the pool now. Not too many there, but they're keeping it going, even in the box. So well done to them. They got all the way round, back to the officials at the start end. And I guess they were only wanting to go round once.
I didn't see you put your hands in the air there, Duncan.
No, someone's going to hold the mic. Yeah, you just can't get the staff anymore. Anyway, we're ready to go. Well, we thought we were ready to go, but something has happened and the swimmers have been asked to step off the blocks. So, not really the start they wanted, but here they come back on now. And this time we are away. Jake Scott of Pembs County goes in lane 1. Matthew Harrison of Swim Conwy in 2. Oliver Bingwam, City of Leeds in 3. Jack Llewellyn of Swim Swansea in 4. Cedal Daffyd of Swim Gwynedd in 6. Zachary Derrick of Keynsham in 6. Johan Francis Jones of Neath in 7, and Matthew Kenneth of City of Leeds in lane 8.
And Jack Llewellyn there has gone off really well in lane 4 from Swim Swansea. Closely followed over the far lanes in lane 7 in the black cap, Johan Francis Jones from Neath, as we come to the turn for the final 50.
Yeah, and it's going to be Jack, I think, leading them through that turn. He does 42.64. An advantage of about 6-7 tenths from Johan Francis Jones. Also a nice turn there from Matthew Kenneth, the Leeds boy, at the near end of the pool there. You've got a nice shot of him there in the yellow cap. And over in the centre lane, Jack Llewellyn. And it's these two pretty much side by side with Johan Francis Jones as well in the mix. So a good tight contest to get us going here. And Matthew Kenneth from the turn has really driven on well.
Fantastic swimming by Matthew Kenneth as we come into the last 10.
So he's looking good to take this one on lane 8, 1:31.07, so 3.5 seconds knocked off his entry time. And a victory out of the outside lane, so he was the slowest swimmer going into this event, but certainly not coming out of it. Nice win there for him. And we should see that summarised for you imminently, or maybe not, as the scoreboard has just moved on.
Johan Francis Jones will be happy with that as well.
Coming up now that you're seeing. So we'll move to Heat 2. So on to Heat 2, and we've got Sean Johnson of Swim Gwynedd going in lane 1, Nathan Wallace of Hereford in 2, Evan Price of Wrexham in 3, Cameron Haley of City of Leicester in 4, Otis Newbury of Trowbridge in 5, Rhys James of City of Cardiff in 6, Ethan Gregson of Mould in 7, and Matthew Willis of Wrexham in lane 8.
Quite a split field already. Lane 6, Rhys James from City of Cardiff has started really well.
Yep, he is looking strong indeed here. Rhys, the 12-year-old, 1:31.10 his entry time. So was on the far side battling for second. Sean Johnson, Nathan Wallace. Looked like Nathan just getting second place behind Rhys, 40.23 for him. So a couple of seconds faster than the first heat at the 50-metre turn. And Rhys James looking pretty good coming down the second length as well. Half a length to go, and he's got about 2.5 metres advantage on the rest of the field there. The red cap in lane 7 is Ethan Gregson. And then in lane 2, it's Nathan Wallace. Those two contesting second, but not too close to Rhys James. He's going to take this one. Entry time, as I mentioned, 1:31.10. That is smashed. 1:25.26. Really good PB there. So that'll warm the hearts of the Cardiff fraternity. Nathan Wallace just getting ahead of Ethan Gregson at the end there for second. Ethan third. And there is the summary for you. So Rhys James first, Nathan Wallace second, and Ethan Gregson third place. On to Heat 3. Just got a glance there of the swimmers from the scoreboard. And all 8 are there. Rowan Griffiths of Birmingham in 1. Kyle Booth of City of Cardiff in 2. Kaz Pelders of Swim Swansea in 3. Jack Brain of Swim Gwynedd in 4. Colm Tobin of Pembs County in 5. Liam Saunders of Heads of Valleys in 6. Christopher Hooper of Chester in 7. And Blair Watritt of Dumfries in lane 8.
Kaz Pelders from Swim Swansea in lane 3 has gone off really well. And even over the far side in lane 1, Rowan Griffiths from Birmingham in the white cap has started really well as you come up to the turn.
So Rowan Griffiths, sounds like he's got a good Welsh pedigree, the Birmingham boy, but in fact it is Kaz who turns just ahead of him, 40-37. So pretty much the same sort of split as Rhys James in the previous heat. So he finished up on a 125, so expect these to be fairly similar. Still, it's Kaz and Rowan, lane 3 and lane 1. So at the far end from the shot that you can see, battling away, and there's not much to separate them, with I think lane 8, Blair Wattret, just in 3rd place on the near side. So who's going to get this one? It's going to be very close now. Technical finishes on the breaststroke, the two-handed touch of course, and it's Kaz who just judges his finish slightly better, 125.48. Just a couple of tenths slower than the previous heat, but a nice swim there and a good PB of 4 seconds. Looking thoughtful, and there you can see the summary and sorted into place order. Kaz Belder first, Rowan Griffiths second. So you see there the swimmers in heat 4, and they're all present and correct on the blocks. So we have Jacob Cook of City of Cardiff in 1, James Waite of Holywell in 2, Jake Sykes, City of Leeds in 3, Matthew Waldham of Peterborough in 4, Joshua Bedford-Eatwell of Sevenoaks in 5, Regan Walters of Neath in 6, Kelvin Davies of Wrexham in 7, and Dennis Cousins of Amphibians in lane 8.
Yeah, lane 5 there, you got Joshua Bedford-Eatwell from Sevenoaks, and we've seen some really good swims from Sevenoaks Swimming Club. As we come up to the turn, let's see what the split is.
Yep, this is looking faster, I think, than we've seen. Yes, it is, 37.89, so first split under 40 seconds. Yep, he's not wearing the regulation red Sevenoaks cap, but it's not holding him back at all. Keep an eye on lane 8.
Absolutely, yeah, really good swim down in lane 8 by Dennis Cousins from Amphibians. He's really pushing Joshua here as we move down into the last 20.
Lanes 2 and 3 battling for 3rd. That's James Waite in 2 and Jake Sykes in 3, but it does look like it is still Joshua Bedford-Eatwell who is doing enough to hold on to this one. He's got about a metre in hand as he comes into the wall. 124.23, so maybe slightly tied up in the second half there after an electric first 50.
Yeah, Jake Sykes coming in 3rd there as well, the 126.29, coming under the radar slightly, but very good swims.
Now we've got the fire alarm going here, so we'll need to watch out what's going on here. We'll just need to check. We transmitted out of Glasgow a month or so ago and had to evacuate the building. Let's hope that that's not the case here.
We'll soon see. There's quite a few discussions going on poolside with actually what's going on. I'm sure the sports assistants who actually work here at the facility, you might see them around the pool in the yellow T-shirts. They'll be hurrying around now to try and find out what the situation is.
Yeah, well, certainly don't see any flames. That's the first piece of good news. Don't hear any smoke. And the fire alarm now has gone off, so I think we're okay. Had a little bit of a hiatus there, but we're back ready to go with Heat 5. So in Heat 5 we have Joshua Loney of Swim Swansea in 1, Benjamin Rayner, City of Leeds in 2, Kyle Job of Pennyriol in 3, Matthew Emerson of Sevenoaks in 4, Gethin Jones of Swim Conway in 5, Thomas Owens of Barnes in 6, Lewis Roberts of Mould in 7, and Owen Knowles of Dorking in lane 8.
Yeah, Lewis Roberts, 14-year-old from Mould, came in the 127.98. He's gone off really well in lane 7 in the white cap as we see what the split is at the turn.
So we saw a 37.89 from Joshua in the first heat, so 37.87, so pretty much identical here. Now, Joshua just struggled in the second half, but if we can keep this going from Lewis, then this could be a fast time.
Yeah, very much looks like this. The field's split up now. In lane 6 we have Thomas Owens from St Barnes, who's dropped off the pace, but back up the top end, Lewis Roberts is really finishing well. He's been caught slightly in lane 5 in the black cap by Gethin Jones from Swim Conwy, and also in lane 4 in the red cap by Matthew Emerson.
Yep, so it's those three, but still led by Lewis Roberts. He's got about a metre. Again, it's closing up, but he will hold on. Lewis takes it 1:22.92. A strong finish from Gethin Jones there. He pretty nearly caught him. It was only in the end 17 hundredths away. 1:23.09 for the Conwy boy. And third place, Matthew Emerson, Seven Oaks. So there you have the summary. Lewis Roberts 1:22.92, Gethin Jones 1:23.09, Matthew Emerson 1:23.71. On to heat 6. So this is heat 6. Lewis Smart of Littlehampton in 1. Brython Sansom of Newport in 2. Alex Hadley of Aquabears in 3. Nathan Larner of City of Leeds in 4. Daniel Currams of Bebington in 5. Jacob Coleman of Monson in 6. Daniel Evans swims Swansea in 7. And Jake Lambert, City of Leeds in lane 8.
Yeah, quite tight as we go down the first 50. In lane 3, we've got Alex Hadley from Aquabears with a good start in the silver cap. And even over in lane 7, the local boys from Swim Swansea, Daniel Evans, we've seen him over the weekend at the start, going very well.
Yep, and it is Daniel who turns in the lead, 38.85. He's got maybe a metre or so. Beside him is Jacob Coleman. And the other side, it's the lead swimmer, Jake Lambert. All fairly tight behind Daniel. Daniel Currams in there as well. And he's the one maybe who's coming through to mount a late challenge here. So it's the blue capped Daniel Evans in lane 7, trying to hold off all comers here. And it's his fellow Daniel Currams, who is his main challenger. So they're going to be 1 and 2. Check on the touch, it's good. Only a tenth in it in the end. Daniel Evans, 1:24.30. 1:24.40 for Daniel Currams. Third place, Brython Sansom, 1:25.45. The 1, 2, 3 summarised on the screen for you there. The two Daniels, 1 and 2. Brython Sansom third.
Yeah, Daniel Evans, I was just looking at his touch in when he went in, and he just obviously won that race, but he's coasted in on his touch. And yeah, he's lucky to keep the 10th of a second ahead there.
So I'm sure there'll be wise words from his coach about that. As we move on to Heat 7, David Nichols of Cardigan Swim on 1. James Davies, City of Leicester in 2. Joe Stott of City of Leeds in 3. Niall Lewis of Pembs County in 4. Dan Elkin of Millfield in 5. Niall Dunn of Aquabears in 6. Rhys Rickard Frost of City of Cardiff in 7. And Thomas Britton Yam of Abertillery in lane 8.
Rhys Rickard Frost from City of Cardiff has flown out of the blocks, and he's come in with a split of 35.47 as we go into the second 50. He's really stretched out a lead early on here.
Yep, so that's a pick up in pace from what we've seen before, some 2 seconds faster than anything we've seen, and he has pulled well clear of the field here. It's a race for the minor places now behind Rhys. So he is really pushing on, the 14-year-old.
Yeah, a bit tight for second. Coming into second now, though, in lane 4, we have from Pembs County, Pembrokeshire County Swimming Club, Niall Lewis pushing on now for second in the third spot as well. Lane 5, Dan Elkin from Millfield. Looks like he's going to edge in third spot there.
But 1:15.01 was Rhys Rickard Frost time there. Entered 1:24, so that was a very impressive swim there. And in fact, there's only one swimmer with a faster entry time than that. So He's booked himself every chance of a place for a second swim this evening, and that coming out of heat 7 of 10 is impressive stuff. There's the summary for you. Niall Lewis second and Dan Elkin third, behind Rhys Ricard Frost 1:15.01. Keep a note of that time, see if it can be beaten. Heat 8 then. Ethan Brown of Clantrescent in 1, Billy Hunt of Welsh Pool in 2, Jack Boniface of Mould in 3, Harrison Tibbs of Harrow in 4, Benjamin Lewis of Redditch in 5, James Gilly, the Welsh Independent, in 6, Callum Mitchell of First in 7, and Ben Johnson also First in 8.
Yeah, quite a tight field so far. Down in lane 4 we have Harrison Tibbs and Benjamin Lewis in 5, and James Gilly, we saw him yesterday with a great swim in lane 6. They're all quite tight at the touch.
Yep, he won gold medal yesterday in the 200 IM. Came with a blistering freestyle leg at the end, but showing here that his breaststroke isn't too shabby either. He's going still in lane 6, and on his left-hand side, Benjamin Lewis in 5, and in 4, Harrison Tibbs. So these three battling it out down here now with about 20 metres to go. Looks like the white cap of Harrison Tibbs of Harrow just pulling into the lead now. Can he hold on? We've not seen Harrison onto the podium yet, so he'll be looking for a breaststroke medal this evening. The 14-year-old from Harrow, and he takes it 1:15.99. So about 9/10 back on Reese's time from the previous heat, but a nice swim, entered 1:15.45, so pretty close to that. Second place, Kieran Williams, and third place, Daniel Young. You can see that summarised, 1:15.99 then. Well, that was... Don't see Harrison Tibbs on there. What's that about? Slightly confused with the names that were up there. I think they may have got the names from the next heat up against the times from the previous one, so slightly confusing there, but I can tell you definitely was Harrison Tibbs winning that, 1:15.99. As we move on to heat 9 with Joshua Monroe, City of Leicester, in 1, Gareth Haberfield of First in 2, Andrew Flanagan, City of Cardiff, in 3, Matthew Williams of Torvain Dolphins in 4, Daniel Young, Swim Swansea, in 5, Kieran Williams of Swim Swansea in 6, David Wilson of Sevenoaks in 7, and Richard Mawson of City of Leeds in lane 8. We're very much into the 13, 14-year-olds now as we come to the last couple of heats, so more experienced swimmers here. And a time of 35.24 for Matthew Williams at the turn. So again, we're in sort of 1:15 territory, I would think.
Yeah, very good swim by Matthew in lane 4 in the white cap. It's a tighter field for second and third spot though in lane 2 and 3 with Gareth Haberfield and Andrew Flanagan, and also Daniel Young from Swim Swansea in lane 5.
Yep, so it's a scrap for second, but a clear victory for Torvain's Matthew Williams, 1:14.23, so that is the new fastest time. He'll take, pending the final heat. Says check on second place. The scoreboard is slightly confused. Those are not the right names, but they are the right lanes. You just have to be a wee bit cute here. Andrew Flanagan in second out of lane 3, and Daniel Young was third, 1:18.15, but the winner Matthew Williams, 1:14.23. So just again ignore those names there. They got themselves slightly confused in the box, I think, just at the moment, but I'm sure they'll sort it out very quickly. So on to the final heat, and we've got Jordan Dodd of Bebington in 1, Samuel Johnson of Dumfries in 2, Lewis Waters of Newport in 3, Kane Rabanel Hunt of Dulwich Dolphins in 4, Simon Scully, City of Leicester in 5, Connor Walsh of Dundee City Aquatics in 6, Thomas Stevens of Swim Swansea in 7, and Aaron Harrison, City of Leeds, in lane 8. Yeah,
and Kane in lane 4, who's had some really good swims already over the last few days, gone off really well as we come up to the turn here.
Yeah, but he was very impressive yesterday in the 200 breaststroke, gold medalist there, so he'll be looking to double up 100 and 200. Always a nice double to get. And certainly at the moment, you wouldn't put money against that happening because he is dominating this final heat. There are about 4 swimmers vying for second. Lane 2, Samuel Johnson, Lewis Waters in 3, and lane 5, Simon Scully, and lane 7, Thomas Stevens, but they cannot cope with Kane Rabanal Hunt's pace here.
Kane looking really, really strong as he comes in for the touch. Let's see what the time is. Oh, 1:13.12, the first under the 1:14 for the day. It's a really good swim by Kane Rabanal Hunt.
And a second faster than he was in the heats earlier on. So, in his entry time, I should say. So he'll be pleased with that for a heat swim, and we'll be hoping to go even faster in this evening's final. Just waiting for our final swim. That's a reserve coming in. Connor Walsh, 1:40.26. He'll probably be a little disappointed with that swim. But it is Kane Rabanal Hunt, 1:13.12. Samuel Johnson of Dumfries second, 1:17.45, just ahead of Lewis Waters of Newport, 1:17.60. So we've finished with the boys, and you can see the girls there ready to go. So 10 heats now for the girls, 10 to 1300 breaststroke. 2 age groups, of course, 10, 11 and 12, 13. So run through the field here. In lane 1 we have Kayla Lawson of Modernians. 2 is Rosie Llewellyn of Pembs County. 3 is Madeline Hoare of Stratford Sharks. Rebecca Meredith in 4 from Llantrisant. Catherine Russell of City of Leeds in 5. Clara Jill Pratt of City of Canterbury in 6. Rebecca Klein, City of Leeds in 7. Meddy Morgan of Swim Gwyneth in lane 8.
Yeah, good start by in lane 3 by Madeline Hoare from Strat Sharks. And also keep an eye on some of the yellow caps in lane 4, 5 and 6. Rebecca Meredith, Catherine Russell, and you've got Clara Jill Pratt from City of Canterbury as well, which started well at the touch.
Just looking back at that last heat of the boys, Kane Rabanal Hunt, just looking at the records, that was a new meet record there, 1:13.12. Previous record 1:13.42, so he'll be happy with that.
Especially for a heat swim.
Yep, we'll hope to do more this evening. But back to the pool, and lane 3, lane 5, battling it out, Madeline Hoare of Stratford and Catherine Russell of Leeds. And in between them, another yellow cap that's worn by Rebecca Meredith of Llantrisant. And on the near side,
Meddy Morgan, yeah.
Yeah. And Meddy might just sneak this. It's going to be close. The 3 of them coming in a line. Who gets the touch? Well, it is, Madeline Hoare coming up at the moment, but no time coming up for Meddy Morgan. So let's just wait and see how that resolves itself. 1:30.78 is coming up as Madeline's time. I think maybe she just got the touch there, and that is confirmed now with Meddy Morgan second, 1:31.03. Unfortunately, a slight head problem there because the camera focusing on there, but you can see Meddy Morgan second, Catherine Russell third. I can tell you the times: 1:30.78 for Madeline, 1:31.03 for Meddy Morgan, Catherine Hunter 1:31.40. Rebecca Meredith, you're looking for her time, 1:33.76, and I think you probably just about got the other ones.
Very good swim. Meddy Morgan from Swim Gwynedd, a really good swimmer down in lane 8 to just come back into it towards the end there as we get ready for heat 2 of the girls.
Yep, she very nearly got that one, but just at the end, Madeline held on. On to heat 2. Charlotte Shepherd of Swim Swansea goes in 1. Mena Phillips of Pembs County in 2. Anna Vickery of Coventry in 3. Lowry Pierce, Swim Swansea in 4. India Ford of Swim Swansea in 5. Izzy Thornton of Abertillery in 6. Chloe Parker Mead, City of Leicester in 7. And Morgan Watts, City of Cardiff in 8.
Yeah, quite a few local girls in this one with Charlotte Shepherd, Mena Phillips and India Ford, from more from Swim Swansea in this one. But if you're looking down in lane 6, I think is white cap with Indy Thornton from Abertillery. She's had a really good start as you come up to the turn.
It's pretty close though as they come to the turn, but I think it is just Izzy who gets the touch. Well, no, in fact, Charlotte Shepherd over in lane 1 can credited with that, 43.75 by 700ths. But really there are about 4, 5, 6 swimmers who could take this with about 30 metres to go.
Yeah, it's really, really tight in there. Charlotte had a really good swim over the far side in lane 1. It's sometimes difficult in a lane 1 or lane 8, but she's really thriving over there.
Yep, so all these swimmers entered 133, 134, and this doesn't happen that often that they all swim pretty much with similar levels of ability, but it does look like Morgan Watts in lane 8 is just going to sneak it and gets a nice 2.5 second improvement for her troubles. 131.58 for the Cardiff girls. So just getting one over the Swansea contingent there. Charlotte Shepherd's second place, the best of the Swansea girls, and in third place Coventry's Anna Vickery. 1, 2, 3 up there for you.
Morgan Watt will be happy with that, coming down to Swansea and getting the win there.
Yeah, always good to get one over the local rivals. Heat 3, Rebecca Lee Black of Swim Swansea in 1, Ala O'Rourke of Aberystwyth in 2, Lowry Evans Swim Swansea in 3, Cara Bird of Wrexham in 4, Samantha Allen of Thanet in 5, Megan Rogers of Pembs County in 6, Heather Wheel of Novio Cigar in 7, and Chloe Davis of Swim Swansea in lane 8.
Yeah, 2 very strong starters here. In lane 3 you have Swim Swansea's Laurie Evans, and then down in lane 7 Heather Wheel in the red cap from Novio Cigar with a really good start as well. Don't count out lane 2 as well in the white cap. Tamsin Wilmshurst from Thanet.
So it is
Olo O'Rourke it is, from Aberystwyth.
Well, the touch Heather Wheel 41.68. So pick up in pace, unsurprisingly, in Heat 3 compared with the earlier 2. So we'll be looking for something under 130 here, I think. Entered on 131s up to 133s. Heather herself 133.05 in the red cap, continuing to lead here.
Yeah, Laurie Evans in lane 3. She came in with a 131.77 from Swim Swansea, so she'll be able to push on towards the end surely in this heat.
It looks like Heather Wheel is going to hold her off though. Not too much in it, but Heather in the red cap, keeping very cool under pressure there, and wins it in 127.42. That's a nice improvement for her, the 12-year-old from Novia Cigar. 127.42. Second, Laurie Evans, 128.02, and Samantha Allen taking third. There's still in lane order there on the scoreboard, and then translated to position order: Heather Wheel, Laurie Evans, Samantha Allen. Onwards to Heat 4. Hella Davies of Swim Gwyneth in 1. Tamsin Wilmshurst, Thanet in 2. Hannah Denny also of Thanet in 3. Lucy Buchan of First in 4. Amy McCrosty of Dundee City Aquatics in 5. Neve Jones of Penny Riol in 6. Pam Pelders Swim Swansea in 7. And Sian Rattenbury of Neath in lane 8.
Yeah, 2 of the City of Leeds. So the Thanet girls, Hannah Denny and Tamsin Wilmshurst down in 2 and 3 have gone off really well. And also in the middle section, lane 5, we have Amy McCrosty from Dundee City Aquatics.
And it is Amy getting the touch there, although Hannah Denny's touch looking very late up on the scoreboard there. So it does look like Amy, though, has the advantage. Talking to her coach, Gary Roberts, earlier before we came on air this morning, and he was very happy to be down here in Swansea with a group of young Dundonians and pleased with their swimming so far, and I think he'll be pleased with this one. Amy McCrosty continue to lead, although coming up on her now is Penny Riol's Neve Jones.
Yeah, Neve Jones, a local swimmer from Penny Riol. She's coming up really strong in this last 5.
But Amy McCrosty still about a metre up. Entry time for Amy 1:30.69, and she comes in 1:27.40. Pretty much identical time, just 200ths faster than the previous heat, but a nice 3-second improvement makes the miles from Dundee all worthwhile.
Yeah, it's a long way down, isn't it? But she's had a really good swim there as Amy from McCrosty.
And the summary 1, 2, 3 just briefly shown there before we flipped on to show you the swimmers in Heat 5. And we'll run through who they are. Paige Simmons of Newport in 1, Abby Calvert of City of Leeds in 2, Charlotte Gibbs, City of Leeds in 3, Kimmy Buchanan of First in 4, Martina Ruskowska of Swim Gwynedd in 5, Libby Jarvis of Peterborough in 6, Zina Panuaga Gutierrez of City of Leeds in 7, and Rhiannon Bowen of Keynsham in 8.
Yeah, they've all gone off well there. And as you just mentioned, Rhiannon Bowen from Keynsham in 8, she's gone off really well in the black cap. She's just edging ahead of, I think it's Pam Pelders from Swim Swansea.
No, I think it's lane 7 actually. I think you need to tell us who she is.
Gutierrez Paniagua.
Very good. So Zina, we'll call her, in the yellow cap, in lane 7, is nicely moving along here, just on the shoulder of Rhiannon Bowen of Keynsham, just over the River Severn. So it's going to be close here between these two on the near side. Nice shots looking down on them for you. In lane 5, making a late move, is Martina Ruskowska, the 400 IM bronze medalist, but it's going to be the yellow cap of Zina Paniagua Gutierrez. Tweet us if we got anywhere close to getting that pronunciation right. Apologies if we didn't.
Well said, Duncan.
Well, we have to try. But a good swim from Zina. She should be happy with that. Pretty much 2 seconds inside her entry time. Martina Ruskowska second in 1:29.41, just touching out Rhiannon Bowen 1:29.57. So on to Heat 6, we have Jade Adams, City of Leeds in 1, Amber Owen of Aberystwyth in 2, Ali Westerby of Hereford in 3, Charlie Neeb Evans of Bevington in 4, Charlotte Rigg of Birmingham in 5, Marnie Boswell of City of Cardiff in 6, Natalie Roos of Peterborough in 7, and Sophia Sheikh of Wolverhampton in 8.
Yeah, they're all quite tight there. Lane 2 and lane 3, you have Sophie Braven, Amber Owen and Ellie Westerby from Hereford gone off really well as you come up to the first turn.
Yep, nothing really between those two. The touch just going to Ellie Westerby, 41.28. 13-year-old from Hereford. So some of the older swimmers starting to appear now as we progress through the heats.
Yeah, Ellie's still progressing really well. They're just on her shoulder on the inside in lane 4. We've got Charlie Neeb Evans from Bevington, who's just going well, and also in lane 2 in the white cap as well. And even down in lane 5, we have Charlotte Rigg from Birmingham.
So lots of pressure for Ellie Westerby to absorb here. Lane 8 also, Sophia Sheikh is moving up nicely, but it is still Ellie in lane 3, and I don't think she's going to be troubled here. She's got about a body length in hand as she comes in 1:27 dead, so a new fastest time so far, and an improvement of 1 3/4 seconds for Ellie as she takes it easy there, puffing and blowing a bit, which shows that she's worked hard. And there's the summary for you. Ellie Westerby first, Amber Owen second, and Charlotte Rigg third. On to Heat 7. Megan Bannon of City of Leeds in 1, Sophie Bravin of Swim Swansea in 2, Tia Vyas, City of Leicester in 3, Lauren Harrison of Peterborough in 4, Abby Holyoke of City of Leeds in 5, Natalia Sharp of City of Sunderland in 6, Kerry Sinclair of City of Leeds in 7, and Honey Butterworth of Harrow in 8.
Yeah, very tight field at the moment. Down in lane 5, we've got Abby Holyoke from City of Leeds, who's really going well. But then over in lane 3, we've got Tia Vyas from City of Leicester. And over the far side, lane 1, Megan Bannon from City of Leeds at the touch there. Tia Vyas.
40.73, so picking up in the pace once again. About half a second faster at the turn than the previous heat. And another tight one here. Lanes 5 and 6 locked together. Abby Holyoke and Natalia Sharp, 2 from the north of England, Leeds and Sunderland. Looks like it's the Leeds girl who's just pulling away though. Over on the far side, her teammate Megan Bannon is now pushing for second along with Tia Vyas in 3. But it's going to be Leeds' Abby Holyoke, I think, although her teammate Megan Bannon is really pushing on in lane 1, so her Leeds 1-2 then. Abby taking it 1:25.90, Megan Bannon second 1:26.88, and Tia Vyas, the best of the non-lead swimmers, the Leicester girl in third 1:27.99.
Yeah, a bit of club rivalry there between Abby and Megan at the end, but great swims.
Interesting there, they turned about half a second faster than the previous heat, but only finished a tenth ahead. So again, a sort of pacing of the first and the second half. Is there an ideal pacing that you would want to go for?
I think it depends on your tactics as well. We have seen the pace actually drop off in the second half of the races, but maybe that is down to swimmers taking it a bit easy as it is a heat.
Although you'd expect that really only in the last 3 heats, as we pushing in the earlier heats to try and nobble a place in the final. Anyway, we move on to Heat 8, and we've got Eleanor Schadeberg of Novosibirsk in 1, Lauren Stockley of Tolvain Dolphins in 2, Lucy Allen of First in 3, Bethany Carter of Evesham in 4, Charlotte Walters, Swim Flint in 5, Katie McKenzie of Skye Dolphins in 6, Kira Schlossen of City of Leeds in 7, and Ella Vikins of Trowbridge in lane 8. Wow, look at lane 5 go, Charlotte Walters.
Yeah, Swim Flinch, she's gone off really well. She came in with the 1:23, but she started off there fantastically well.
36.86 is considerably faster than anything we've seen so far. Lane 6 though, Katie McKenzie is not too deterred from that fast start, and the swimmer beside her, Charlotte Walters, and she's setting about trying to close it down. Don't think she's going to, but she's going nicely. But Charlotte Walters, 13-year-old from Swim Flintshire, 1:23.28 her entry time, and I think she'll be comfortably inside that. So cracking swim there from Charlotte.
Bit of push for third. It looks like lane 8 potentially Ella Vikins. Oh, Lucy Allen just got in there.
Yeah, well, we need to wait for Katie McKenzie's time, not showing on the board. I think she'll be credited with second place. Yes, she is now, 1:23.31. Ella Vikins in third place in lane 8, 1:25.51. But 1:20 dead for Charlotte Walters. So entry time for her, 1:23.28. So nice improvement, and the fastest time so far with 2 heats to go. Of course, Charlotte already on the podium in the breaststroke, 200 breaststroke silver medalist. As we move on to Heat 9, and we've got Abigail Jack, City of Leeds in 1, Hazel Fox of Pembs County in 2, Isabel Anwill, Swim Flintshire in 3, Leila Risatepi of City of St Albans in 4, Isabella Berlin of Crawley in 5, Chloe Watmo of Aquabears in 6, Tegan Frizzell of City of Cardiff in 7, and Emily Johnson of the City of Leeds in lane 8.
And it's Alice Patterson who's gone off really well from Teddington Swimming Club here. Sorry, it's Isabella Berlin from Crawley who's gone off really well.
38.21, so second and a bit back on Charlotte's very fast first 50 in the previous heat, but going nicely in lane 5. Isabella Berlin with Leila Rizatepe just about a metre back on her in lane 4. So they're the two who are leading it, from Isabel and Will of Flensburg in 3. And it looks like the Crawley swimmer down by Gatwick Airport is going to take this one by about a metre, slightly more maybe, 1:21.68. So again inside her entry time by about a second and a half. Leila Rizatepe second, 1:22.42. She's a little bit off her time, but sure that will be good enough for a place in the final for the 13-year-old. Isabella just 11 years old, so that was an impressive swim from the youngster there.
Yeah, I was just having a look at that. Isabella, 11 years of age. That's a really, really confident swim.
And in fact, looking at that, I made that a new Welsh summer record for her.
Wow.
Was 1:24.01, so she smashed it.
She's now on a quick rest on the ropes, I think, there after that record breaker.
Yep, well deserved. So final heat for the girls' breaststroke. We have Katie Cooper in 1 for Wigan Best, Lucy Gerard of Birmingham in 2, Megan Pirrie of Hemel Hempstead in 3, Isabel McNabb Aquasulis in 4, Alice Patterson of Teddington in 5, Megan Nicholas of Bridgend in 6, Charlotte Nestor of Wigan Best in 7, and Helena Spoga Ward of City of Leeds in 8.
Yeah, lane 2, we've got Lucy Gerard from Birmingham, who's gone off really well on the white cap. She came in with a 1:25.24 as you come up to the split. Let's see what that is.
Well, Isabel McNabb being credited with the split in lane 4, so she's settled into the race now after that very fast start from Lucy Gerard, and she is progressing nicely now and is pulling through and pulling away.
Yeah, fantastic swim by Isabella. She came up there towards the end of that last 50, and she's really motoring on now in the black cap in lane 4.
So the 13-year-old from Aquasulis Club is about 2 metres up. It's a close affair now for second. Lucy Gerard doing her best to hang on to it. Lane 7, probably the nearest challenger, Charlotte Nestor. No doubt about the leader, though. Isabel McNabb leads them in 1:20.63. That is the fastest time we've seen. So impressive swim from the Aquasulis girl. And she's not going to look at the camera because the camera quite a long way away, so not aware of it, I wouldn't think. And we can there see the summary of the result. Apologies about some of the spectators just getting in the way. 1:20.63 Isabel McNabb, Charlotte Nestor second, and Lucy Gerard third. So our next event is backstroke, and the older boys, 15 to 18s, two age groups, 15, 16 and 17, 18. 8 heats here with 4 going in heat 1. And these 4 swimmers, Stephen Davies of Wrexham goes in 3, Christopher Whitaker, City of Cardiff in 4, Shravan Srikunma of Newport in 5, and Daniel Picton of Thames County in 6.
Yeah, they're neck and neck at the moment. The 3 of them in lane 3, 4 and 5, Stephen Davis, Christopher Whitaker and Shravan from Newport.
These swimmers entered 1:14, 1:15, so no surprise that it's close. You'd expect these swimmers to be reasonably close to their entry times. It's harder to get big PBs when you get to the older age groups. Christopher Whitaker with the advantage in lane 4.
Yeah, he's just stretching out slightly there now, Christopher, and he's moving away from the rest of the guys there. Lane 2, though, we still have, lane 3, Stephen Davis from Wrexham, still just in there, but it looks like Christopher Whitaker is going to comfortably take this now.
So his entry time 1:14.04. The clock just coming towards 1:10 now, so he's going to post a pretty good improvement. 1:12.24. So Should be happy with that, you would feel. Nearly 2 seconds. So for a 16-year-old, that's a good PB. Second, Stephen Davis, 1:15.06, and Daniel Picton third, 1:15.30. Should see that result summarised any moment. And there it is for you. The 1, 2, 3, Christopher Whittaker, Stephen Davis, Daniel Picton, and a nice grey-haired man in the foreground. Rather more hair than I've got, though, so I shouldn't say too much about him. So we're moving on to Heat 2. Looks like we've got an empty lane, lane 6 in the swim. So off they go. David Anderson of Chepstow in 1. David Flanagan, City of Cardiff in 2. Conor McNeil of Ren 96 in 3. Gethin Dibben of Llantrisant in 4. Andrew Kleinhorn of Bebington in 5. Daniel Jones, City of Cardiff in 7. And Luke Robbins of Llantrisant in 8.
Yeah, Connor down in lane 3, a really fantastic start from Ren 96 in the blue cap. He's just been caught now a bit slightly by the gold cap next swim of Conor McNeil.
So Conor McNeil, I wasn't even aware Ren 96 were down here at this meet. I think he maybe is down on his own, just west of Glasgow. But beside him now, Gethin Dibben in the yellow cap, and in the white cap, Andrew Kleinhorn. And these three are putting the pressure on Conor now. Conor is holding them at the moment, just about, and is looks to have maybe changed gear slightly as he responds to the pressure. So nice work from him, and I think he is going to hold them, although Andrew Kleinhorn putting in one last effort in lane 5, but it is Conor McNeil, 1:09.09 to take it, and that's made his trip down from the west of Scotland worthwhile. Nice improvement of about 2.7 for him. Second, Andrew Kleinhorn, 1:09.73, also a good improvement. And third, Gethin Dibben. And of course, because it's backstroke, they have to clear the pool after every heat. We've still got our friend there in shot. I'm sure he's probably completely unaware that he's now world famous.
He's keeping a very close eye on the scoreboard, isn't he?
Yep, with the hundreds of viewers now all admiring the back of his head. So let's move on. Heat 3, Rhys Jones of Llantrisant in 1, Joe Hamilton of Stourbridge in 2, Carl Smith, City of Leeds in 3, Aaron Pullen of Ealing in 4, Zaid Abdul Majid of Bridgend in 5, Tom Leaney of Chepstow in 6, James Jones of Novio Cigar in 7, and Callum Brophy of Sevenoaks in lane 8.
Yeah, good start from Rhys Jones from Llantrisant in lane 1. He's gone off really well. And also in the middle section, lane 4, we got Aaron Pullen from Ealing, and also Zaid Abdul Majid from Bridgend started really well.
Yep, and a good turn from the two boys in the centre lanes there, Aaron and Zaid. And that's put them, I think, just ahead of the early leader, Rhys Jones. Also moving up now in lane 3, Carl Smith of City of Leeds in the yellow cap. Of course, we're known to recognise that one as the lead swimmers pulling off lots of excellent swims. So we've got 4 swimmers all in the mix here. And it's going to be about spotting the finish. And I think it's going to be Carl Smith who's going to do that. 1:08.36 for him. So another improvement in times from Heat 2. And an improvement on time from his entry time as well by 2 seconds. Pretty close one, that.
Yeah, great swim by Carl Smith there. And we've seen, as you said, some really good swims from the City of Leeds Swimming Club. And just another one there from Carl.
So we should see the results summarised for you there. Still there in lane order. But you can see the one beside Carl Smith there, 1:08.36. And the 2, Rhys Jones. He did well in the second half to hold off the challenge behind him from Aaron Pullen and Zaid Abdul Majid. So we move on to Heat 4. And the swimmers in Heat 4, Matthew Sullivan of Warrington in 1, Matthew Thomas of Ruthin in 2, Ross Shaw, Borough of Kirklees in 3, Samuel Wilde of Mould in 4, Robert Cousins, City of Cardiff in 5, Owen Jones of Church Dragons in 6, Giovanni Di Siena of Peterborough in 7, and Nathan Watt of St Thomas in lane 8.
Yeah, very fast start by Samuel Wilde from Mould in lane 4, and also down in lane, I think it's lane 7, sorry, but the back lane, you've got Nathan Watt from St Thomas, who started really well as he comes up for the second 50.
The 31.88 was Samuel Wilde's split, leading them through the 50 there. But as you said, Nathan Watt is going to push him all the way here. So it's the 15-year-old from Mould against the 17-year-old from Arbroath. And coming up also Giovanni Di Siena in lane 7, talking to his dad earlier. And he is going well here. Lane 2, Matthew Thomas also in the mix. This is tight indeed at the touch, and it is Samuel Wilde, the halfway leader, just held on. Only a hundredth between Nathan Watt in second and Giovanni Di Siena in third, 108.52 and 108.53 respectively. Winning time though, Samuel's 108.39. So probably about the tightest race we've seen this morning.
Yeah, very, very tight touch there, but Samuel Wilde coming through.
And summarise for you there, still in a lane order. So look down to lane 4 and you see Samuel Wilde with the 1 against his name, 108.39. And then down at the bottom, Nathan Watt and Giovanni Di Siena. Heat 5. All these swimmers are 108 into low 109. Entry times, Owen Bevan, City of Cardiff in 1, Rodri Johnson of Swim Swansea in 2, Callum Wellman of Wrexham in 3, James Stephen of First in 4, Connor Green of Novio Cigar in 5, Jacob Was of Warrington in 6, Liam Noonan of Lincoln Vulcans in 7, and James Ross of Warrington in lane 8.
They've all had a really good start there. Connor Green in lane 5 from Novio Cigar starts well, and it looks like he might just get this first touch here.
Keep an eye on James Ross on the near side, 2 golds and a silver to his name so far. Suspect that backstroke probably isn't his best event, but he's up there. Lane 5 though, I think has the edge. Connor Green, Novio Cigar. As you mentioned, Mark, he's going to, I think, hold them off. But James Ross on the near side is pushing along, and also in lane 3, Callum Wellman of Wrexham.
Looks like Callum could take this here. He's just going to go right down to the edge. Was getting very close.
But Connor Green does hold on, 106.82, push to a nice improvement there of about a second and a half. Second place was lane 3, Callum Wellman, and James Ross third. 107.08 for Callum, 107.70 for James. As we see the swimmers leave. The scoreboard's been pretty prompt moving on to Heat 6, so that is the start lineup for Heat 6 that you're seeing there. The swimmers still just coming out the pool as the next ones jump in and get themselves ready. I always think, particularly for these teenage boys, there's a certain style element in their jump in for the backstroke. They all like to do it with their own particular flourish. So in Heat 6 we have Lewis Baker of Torven Dolphins in 1, Daniel Thomas of Pembs County in 2, Andrew Plummer of Wigan Best in 3, Jonathan Orchard of Pembs County in 4, George Firth, Cirencester in 5, Elliot Blore of Crew Flyers in 6, Owen Leary of Bridgend in 7, and Mitchell Walmsley of Wigan Best in lane 8.
Yeah, I was just keeping an eye on George Firth there from his first start, and he motored under the water, didn't come up for a long time, and he's still in front as you come down for the last 50. He's been closely followed here by Pembs County's Jonathan Orchard as well, who had a very good swim yesterday. And Jonathan Orchard now looks like he's going to be pushing on now just past George Firth.
Yeah, this one is going to be very close. Jonathan Orchard, 2 gold medals to his name so far. Butterfly and back 200 backstroke, and coming through very strongly there in the closing stages to take it in the end by nearly 3/4 of a second. 103.50, so probably a little bit in hand. Probably just eased themselves into the pace there and finishing strongly. So expect faster this evening. I'm sure Jonathan will be prominent there in the final. And we come to the scoreboard there, and you see Jonathan Orchard there first, George Firth second, 104.23, and the 3 beside the name of Andrew Plummer, 105.37 for him.
As you said, they all got their little styles when they jump into the water, just to get themselves set for the race.
So this is Heat 7, Toby Sariki of Leander in 1, Jordan Stratton of Lincoln Vulcans in 2, Tor Wheeler of Amphibians in 3, Joe Lynch of Leicester Penguins in 4, Dylan Jones of Torvain Dolphins in 5, Luke Riding of Borough of Kirklees in 6, Thomas Smith of Aquasulis in 7, and Joshua Hillman of Rotherham Metro in lane 8.
Yeah, it looks like lane 5, it's Dylan Jones just sneaking ahead there as we come into the touch, I think. Yeah, Dylan with 30.03 at the split. And we're coming down lane 4 and lane 3. Still sticking with him, Joe Lynch and Tor Wheeler. But Dylan Jones looking like he's going to be trying to push on here.
Yep, Dylan Jones is about a meter's advantage on Tor Wheeler in lane 3, and then in between them, Joe Lynch. That's looking like the 1, 2, 3, and I don't think anyone's going to get that close to Dylan. Entry time for him, 103.41. The clock just going over the minute as he comes in, 102.73. So nice improvement there. And looking sharp in the 15-16 age group. Second, Tor Wheeler. Third, Joe Lynch. Just 100th in the end between those two.
Yeah, he came straight back into it there. Right at the end did Joe Lynch, but he finishes in 3rd.
Summarised for you there. Dylan Jones, Tor Wheeler, Joe Lynch. 102.73 is the fastest time so far from Dylan. 1 heat still to go. So on to Heat 8, and we've got Kyle Stubbs of Chester in 1, Adam Horton of Stourbridge in 2, Ricky Griggs of Trowbridge in 3, Thomas Gabb of Millfield in 4, Stephen Morris of Novio Cigar in 5, Alexander McCauley of Sevenoaks in 6, Thomas Vaughan of Bevington in 7, and Carl Taylor of Wrexham in lane 8.
Yeah, last heat of the boys backstroke, and in lane 7, Thomas Vaughan's gone off really well, but I think it's just going to be at the touch there. Yet Stephen Morris has got the touch in lane 5 for 30.32 as we turn for the final 50.
So the Novio Cigar swimmer doing his best to hang on to this. Lane 4, Thomas Gabb pretty much with him. Also lane 7, Thomas Vaughan going well, the Bebington swimmer. And lane 3, Ricky Griggs of Trowbridge. So these 4 led still by Stefan in lane 5, the 15-year-old. 103.13 entry. Let's see whether he can go faster than that. Well, just pretty much on it. 103.26. So we'll see him again this evening and see what he can do there. Close for second, Thomas Gabb, just a 3/10 ahead of Ricky Griggs. 104.58 and 104.87 respectively. So see the swimmers making their way. And there's the 1, 2, 3, Stephen Morris, Thomas Gabb and Ricky Griggs. You just about see the times there. If you're interested in some of those slower times, 104.89 Thomas Vaughan, Adam Horton 105.79, Kyle Stubbs 107.85, Alexander McCauley 108.06, and Carl Taylor 110.17. So that's the boys' backstroke. We move straight to the girls now. 11 heats here for the girls 14 to 18.
Yeah, and the first heat here is going to be an all Welsh affair with Neath, Pembrokeshire County Swim Swansea, and another Ellie Parks from Pembs County in lane 6 as well.
So just run through the field. Caitlin Chivers of Neath in 3, Caris James, Pembs County in 4, Megan Williams, Swim Swansea in 5, Ellie Parks, Pembs County in 6. So how do the Welsh coaches feel about this very strong non-Welsh presence at their national championships? Do they like them there to give them the competition, or would they rather have a closed event and the medals reserved for the Welsh boys and girls?
I think it's definitely worth the competition for you. You know, obviously you've got City of Leeds and Sevenoaks notably coming down and producing really good swims. So I think the competition is really healthy, and I'm sure the Welsh coaches will feel the same as well. As we have some really good starts here, and I think it's in lane 3 we got Caitlin Chivers from Neath and Megan Williams from lane 5 from Swim Swansea just leading the way here.
Yeah, it's very close between the two of them. And in between them, Caris James, just a metre or so back. Looks like Caitlin Chivers maybe just edging into the lead in 3, but that's no means assured yet with about 10 metres to go. It's going to be, I think, partly to do with how well they finish here, but Caitlin coming into the final 5 just with the edge. Is she going to take it? Yes, she is. 1:17.54.
Yeah, Caitlin's coach, Neil Golden, will be absolutely delighted with that. I saw Neil just down on poolside there screaming and shouting at his swimmer, and Caitlin's come through really well.
And I imagine Caitlin will be completely oblivious to that as she just focused on her own swim. But I'm sure it made the coach feel better. Megan Williams second there, 1:17.77. Caris James third, 1:18.84. A full pool for heat 2, just going into the water. And another all Welsh affair here. Amy McQueen, Swim Swansea in 1, Lauren Flynn of Merthyr in 2, Melissa Edmonds of Llantrisant in 3, Catherine Parsonage, Church Dragons in 4, Livy Robson of Neath in 5, Holly Thomas of Novio Cigar in 6, Nicola Grange of Celtic Dolphins in 7, and Bethan Phillips of Pembs County in 8.
Yeah, it's really good to see this one. Some very local swimming clubs which I'm quite familiar with, and obviously good to see a Celtic Dolphin swimmer in lane 7, Nicola Grange, in this heat.
Lauren Flynn of Merthyr, well, in fact, maybe lane 5 actually getting the touch. Livy Robson, 36.52. So the Neath girl.
She had a very strong swim yesterday, did Livy, if I remember correctly, in lane 5, and she's really motoring on here as well.
So more work for the Neath coaching fraternity here as Livy Robson continuing the good work started by Caitlin Chivers in the previous heat, and she is rather more comfortably in the lead than Caitlin was. She's about 2 metres up now, fairly close for second, with Nicola Grange coming up strong, the Celtic Dolphin, and lane 4 Catherine Parsonage at Church Dragons, but both behind Livy Robson, who takes it 1:15.32, a 2-second improvement.
Yeah, a first position for the Celtic Dolphins there in the competition. Nicola Grange coming in 3rd spot, but Livy Robson, another really good swim from Neath Swimming Club.
Yeah, and it was Catherine Parsonage who took second there, just ahead of Nicola and behind Livy. 1:17.33 for Catherine, Nicola 1:17.58. You see that summarised now. Behind the winner, Livy Robson, 1:15.32. On to heat 3. The swimmers now clear of the pool from the previous heat. See there the good crowd that is in this morning. I'm looking to see their swimmers performing well. Swimmers there just waiting patiently as the official moves very businesslike down the...
Yeah, I think we've just got a bit of a problem with, I think it's lane 6's Zoe Nichols from Amphibians. Maybe something just on her foot there, which the officials now just cut off and she's ready to go. I think it's some sort of wire or something like that.
So a bit of an amputation there, but hopefully all moving parts intact. No swimmer in lane 2 in this one. So heat 3 underway. Annalise Baker of Torvain Dolphins in 1. Stephanie Strang, Dundee City Aquatics in 3. Laura McBride of Swim Conwy in 4. Eleanor Booth, City of Cardiff in 5. Zoe Nichols of Amphibians in 6. Jessica Devereux, City of Canterbury in 7. And Caris Thomas of Pembs County in lane 8.
It looks like the delay, which was actually Zoe Nichols, she's actually started really well. And it's also in lane 3, we've got, I think it's Stephanie Strange, who's from Dundee City, who's going well. We'll see at the touch now.
Yeah, this is a pretty close affair. Eleanor Booth getting the touch, 36.70. But there's a number of swimmers right there with her. So, 4 on the near side in a line, and then lane 1, Annalise Baker and Stephanie Strang in 3, just a little bit back. Does look like lane 5 has got the edge. Eleanor Booth, the halfway leader. She's maybe just got half a metre now in hand on the 3 inside her. Zoe Nichols, Jessica Devereux and Caris Thomas. So the blue capped Eleanor Booth, Cardiff girl, is going to take this one.
Caris Thomas at the bottom in Pembs County can nick second.
Yes, she did. Good swim from her, particularly their finish there. 1:15.51, Eleanor Booth's winning time. Caris second, 1:16.07. And Stephanie Strang from Dundee taking third, 1:16.30. So swimmers just vacating the pool and making way for heat 4. And they jump in. Philip Roebuck of Chase is in lane 1. Emily Jelfs of Hemel Hempstead in 2. Ellen Gordon, Novio Cigar in 3. Danielle Rowland of Bevington in 4. Lindsay Sword of First in 5. Lida Abry of City of Sunderland in 6. Catherine Ross of Warrington in 7. Heather Lees of First in lane 8.
Yeah, quite close as you go down to the turn for the first 50. In lane 5, Lindsay Sword from First has really started well. It's quite tight as you go down to the touch.
Yeah, good number of swimmers in the mix here, but you spotted it, Mark. 35.84 for Lindsay. But I think there's plenty of people who are going to challenge her down the second half here. Catherine Ross, we saw her brothers to great effect in the last few days. Now see what their sister can do. Catherine of Warrington in lane 7 is challenging Lindsay Sword pretty hard now. I think it's going to be between these two. The blue cap of Lindsay Sword in lane 5 against the yellow cap of Warrington's Catherine Ross in 7. Lindsay has led throughout. Can she hold it? She needs a good finish here, and she got it. 1:13.59 for Lindsay. Catherine just behind her, 1:14.12, both well inside their entry times. And it was Danielle Rowland in lane 4 who took third, 1:14.47. Lindsay there, shaking her head.
Yeah, I'm sure Catherine's brothers will be proud of her coming in second there, but Lindsay Sword held it on till the end, and obviously, as you said, Daniel Rowlands coming in third from Bebington.
So, of course, just slightly more time in between the heats, which means the referee just has to hold his horses a little bit as the swimmers leave the pool. Gives us all a chance to draw breath. And that's just about done now, and the whistle goes to bring heat 5 under the referee's orders. And away they go. Sadie Milton of Dover Life in 1. Amy Bond, City of Cardiff in 2. Holly Barnes of Harrow in 3. Lauren Palmer-Jones of Thanet in 4. Zara Bailey of Leek in 5. Rebecca Klein of Bebington in 6. Molly Anderson swims Swansea in 7. And Carrie O'Rourke of Aberystwyth in lane 8.
Yeah, Zara Bailey in lane 5's gone off really well. It's still quite a tight field as you come up to the first turn. Down in lane 8 as well. Keep an eye on Carrie O'Rourke from Aberystwyth. She started off really well.
Sadie Milton also on the far side, and it's Sadie just with the edge, 35.85. Pretty much identical split to the previous heat. Lindsay Sword split. But this one could go a number of ways. As you mentioned, Carrie O'Rourke, the Aberystwyth girl in lane 8, is looking very strong. And beside her, Molly Anderson of Swansea.
Yeah, Sadie Milton had a really good swim yesterday as well, but she's going well in lane 1. But as I said, Aberystwyth's Carrie O'Rourke on the bottom, just coming in for the last 5.
Yep, Carrie will take this one. And really going with great momentum into the wall there in the backstroke. Important that you don't ease off. You absolutely got to power into the wall. And Carrie did that, 1:13.43 to take it. Sadie Milton getting an outside lane double there in lane 1, 1:14.32, and Holly Barnes third, 1:14.48.
I think that's a really important point you make there about actually motoring into the turn to make sure actually you hit the barriers as quick as possible. I've known some swimmers who actually have stubbed their fingers quite badly doing so. So, you know, but that's obviously what you have to do to make sure you finish in the position you want and also get the time you want as well.
And of course, if you hit the board hard, you'll stop the clock just fractionally earlier.
Good point.
So on to heat 6, Sarah Cummins of St Thomas in 1, Kate Owen, Celtic Dolphins in 2, Emma White of Maxwell in 3, Emily Hewitson of Dumfries in 4, Nicole Parrish of Black Lion in 5, Anna Chappell of Maxwell in 6, Naomi Hughes of Wigan Best in 7, and Helen Gildersleeves of Abingdon Vale in lane 8.
Yeah, Anna Chappell took quite a long time to come up there, but it's actually paid off for her down in lane 6. Lane 4 as well, keep an eye on Emily Houston, who's actually going really well.
So there's those two, Anna Chappell and Emily Hewitson, 33.98 for Anna. And that is the new fastest split, just under the 34 seconds there. Emily second. And these two leading them down the second length, the blue cap of Maxwell's Anna Chappell, just ahead of the white cap of Dumfries's Emily Hewitson. And it looks like that's how it will stay, although Emily is pushing on, just keeping on the pressure. And she is closing here as they come towards the final 5.
Kate Owen as well. And Celtic Dolphins looks like she's going to get a bronze in 3rd.
So it was Anna Chappell just held on, but only 300ths in it in the end. Anna Chappell 1:10.88 ahead of Emily Hewitson 1:10.91, both well inside their entry times. And as you mentioned, Kate Owen picking up 3rd, the Celtic Dolphin, 1:13.55.
Yeah, should be happy with that. Will Kate Owen from the Celtic Dolphins, 14 years of age, coming in there.
So there is the summary of the result. This time, spectators keeping away. So a nice unobstructed view as we move on to heat 7.
Good view there of the swimmers getting out of the water, clearing the way for the next heat.
There's the Dumfries girl, Emily Hewitson, who was second. And heat 7 going in. So on to heat 7. Lucy Glover of Solihull in 1, Francesca Griffin of Black Lion in 2, Bethan Connolly of City of Cardiff in 3, Claire Beddoe of Shrewsbury in 4, Kirsty Hunter of Musselburgh in 5, Isabel Davies of Pembs County in 6, Isabel Booth, Sevenoaks in 7, and Nadine James, City of Cardiff in lane 8.
Yeah, we've had quite a few good starts, and actually down, I think it's in lane 5 with Kirsty Hunter of Musselburgh. She's gone off really well. Lane 7 as well, keep an eye on Isabel Booth. Isabel Booth gets a touch of 33.58 on the split.
Yep, so the 14-year-old from Sevenoaks leading the way there. Not seen her on the podium yet, so maybe this is her moment, although quite a few heats still to come, so maybe a little premature to call that one. Lane 3, Bethan Connolly and Kirsty Hunter in the yellow cap in lane 5, contesting second place, but Isabel Booth is going to take this one. She was entered 1:13.41. She is a lot faster than that. 1:08.93. Our first sub 1:10 swim from these girls. So nice one from Isabel. Second, Francesca, well no, in fact Bethan Connolly, 1:10.34. Kirsty Hunter third, 1:11.25. Kirsty had a terrific meet so far, 3 gold medals, but backstroke clearly not one of her strongest events, so third place there.
Isabel Booth, another strong swim from Sevenoaks Swimming Club. They've really come down here and had some really strong swims over the last few days.
Summary of the result on your screens now. Isabel Booth, Bethan Connolly, Kirsty Hunter, the 1, 2, 3. On to heat 8. So heat 1, lane 1, Megan Branney of Dumfries. 2 is Georgia Petch, City of Leicester. 3, Jennifer Dixon of First. 4, Rachel Heasom of Warrington. 5, Ellie Matthews of Llantrisant. 6, Ciara Golding of Neath. 7, Rebecca Jennard of Harlech. And Neath's Lauren Rigdon in lane 8.
Yeah, Rebecca in lane 7 from Harlech. She's gone off really well. Keeping with her down in lane 8, Lauren Rigdon from Neath, the 14-year-olds. Keeping up with the 17-year-olds as we go into the turn.
34.03 for Rebecca. So not seen too many swimmers from Harlech, but nice to see Rebecca going nicely here. And she's got about a meter's advantage with Lauren Rigdon in lane 8 beside her, and then the 2 yellow caps in the centre of lane. 2 different clubs, Rachel Heasom of Warrington and Ellie Matthews of Llantrisant. But it does look like Rebecca Jennard, who's led from the start, is not going to be caught now as a mighty battle developing for second.
Ciara Golden looks like it's going to nick it.
Well,
oh, no.
Not quite.
Oh, sorry. Ciara Golden was, I think it was lane 5 it was, with Ellie Matthews from Llantrisant, and that was a good swim to her coming in third spot, and second spot going to Rachel Heasom as well.
So Rebecca Jennard's time there, 1:10.81. Rachel Heasom second, Ellie Matthews third. Should see that on the screen anytime now. Or maybe not.
It is there.
You can see the scoreboard up there behind the swimmers. That's where we're showing the results from, and you can see maybe you just saw that flick across to the next heat. And this is heat 9 out of the 11 scheduled. No swimmer in lane 8 in this one, so 7 going. Emily Osborne of Leek in 1, Natalie Dingley of Stourbridge in 2, Eleanor Bloor of Crew Flyers in 3, Jessica Sutton, City of Leicester in 4, Sophie Cox, City of Cardiff in 5, Imogen Hunt of Bridgend in 6, Emmy Sutton of Llantrisant in 7.
Yeah, and Emma's gone off really well in lane 7 from Llantrisant in the yellow cap, but she's just been caught here now in the middle section. Lane 4, Jessica Sutton, and lane 5, Sophie Cox as we go into the turn.
Yeah, you're a brave man to try and call a leader there, because that was very close indeed. And in fact, it was Emma Sutton just getting the touch in lane 7, 33.69. And in the yellow cap, she's come out of that turn nicely. We talked yesterday about the importance of the technical elements of the race, the starts, turns and finishes, and that was a nice turn from Emma there.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a really tight finish again. Coming through in lane 4, though, Jessica Sutton from City of Leicester's putting a bit of pressure on, and just on her shoulder as well, it's Sophie Cox from City of Cardiff as we go into the touch.
Whoa, close one indeed. Had a lovely finish from Jessica, and she took it there, 1:09.47. So still the fastest from a couple of heats ago, Isabel Booth, 1:08.93. Not so an excellent swim, but Jessica Sutton there, Also a very good swim. 109.47. And there is the 1-2-3, Emma Sutton second. I imagine no relation, 2 different clubs. Sophie Cox in 3rd place.
Yeah, really good race that one, right until the end. And as we said before, it's really important on the touch that you actually go in and don't stop at all.
Well, I don't know what's happened to lane 8, because we're once again missing the swimmer out of lane 8 in this 10th heat. So 7 swimmers go again. Poppy Jenkins, City of Cardiff in 1. Melanie Rowland of Bevington in 2. Tegan Galbraith, Novio Cigar in 3. Emily Crane of City of Leicester in 4. Terry Johnson of Dumfries in 5. And Jenna Lafferty of First in 6. Natasha Johnson of City of Cardiff in 7.
Yeah, another close heat, it looks like it. Emily Crane was just leading from the City of Leicester in lane 4 just as we started off, but as we come into the touch, lane 2 as well, we have Melanie Rowland going well and Natasha Johnston. Yeah, it's Natalie Dingley just saying on the board there, but
so it looked like Melanie Rowland as well, but lane 4 now Emily Crane starting to make her presence felt in the white cap in the centre lane. So she's battling it with Melanie Rowland, and then in between them Tegan Galbraith in the red cap. So these 3, and the blue cap are Bevington's Melanie Rowland is maybe just moving through now, and a nice finish from her to take it 107.80. So that is our new fastest time as we finish the penultimate heat.
yeah, great swim there by Melanie just to come in there.
Emily Crane taking second, 108.60, and Tegan Galbraith third. Nice shot of the Bevington girl there. Our camera crew were on a bit of a night out last night, knocking back the raki and enjoying their Japanese, but they look to be on top form this morning, shaking off the cobwebs. Well done, guys.
Absolute utter professionals.
If you see a shaky camera action, you'll know why. But it's not happening. All credit to the boys. So the final heat, Ali Cox, Sevenoaks in 1, Billy McCarthy of Dorking in 2, Danielle Rayner of City of Cambridge in 3, Isabel Johns of Thames County in 4, Olivia Handley of Beckenham in 5, Emily Clark of Poole in 6, Katie Hoyle of Torvain Dolphins in 7, and Annie Keppel-Palmer in lane 8 for Sevenoaks.
And she started well, a very familiar face, Annie Keppel-Palmer from yesterday. She's going okay in lane 8, but it's actually, I think it's lane 5's Olivia Handley from Beckenham who looks like she's going to get the touch. Yes, she does, a 33.08 into the turn. And Isabel Jones in lane 4 next to her, 33.42 as you come down for the final 50.
So it's another close one here. There's about 5 swimmers through from lane 4 to lane 8 who are all in a line here with about 20 metres to go. Just maybe with the edge, Isabel Johns now in lane 4, the Penns County girl. Penns County should be very pleased with their performances this week so far. And this is another good one from Isabel, 107.87. This will be very interesting because that was just 600ths back on Melanie Rowland's time in the previous heat. So we're all set for an absolute stormer, I think, in the final this evening. So make sure that you tune in for that. It's going to be a good heat.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And I think we said yesterday the PEMS coaches are actually just below us here in the commentary box, and there's 4 or 5 of them having a chat on poolside there, and they'll be delighted with some of the swims they've seen over the last few days by their swimmers. And that's another one there by Isabel Johns going into the finals.
So just shots there of the Novio swimmer going on as we get ready to go now with the boys 11 to 14 years, a 200 metre backstroke, so 4 lengths of the pool this time, and we've got 11 heats here. So No hanging about, we're straight into it. Lloyd Davies of Welsh Pool in 1, Toby Redshaw of Maidenhead in 2, Evan Rayner of Llantrisant in 3, Alexander Ball of Beckenham in 4, Jake Sykes, City of Leeds in 5, Jacob Cook of City of Cardiff in 6, Sion Bevan of City of Cardiff in 7, and Jason Simister of Welsh Pool in lane 8.
Yeah, it's quite a first heat, tight heat for the boys here. Lane 4, it's Alexander Ball from Beckenham, who looks like he's going to get the touch at the end of the first 50.
So 4 lengths.
Oh no, it's
of the
Evan
pool.
Rayner who's come in. A 39.02. I don't think Alexander Ball's actually came up on the screen there, so it might have been a soft touch.
Yep, good number of swimmers all there or thereabouts here. Whilst this longer event, so they've got to work on their pacing. There's boys, a mixture of ages here, 11 up to 14. A couple of boys from Welsh Pool in the outside lanes. I don't think I've seen Welsh Pool swimmers here, so nice to see them.
No, it's really, really good to see them down here. I don't think we have seen any Welsh Pool swimmers, and they're taking their time down into this turn here. Let's see, I think it's down in, it's lane 5's Jake Sykes from City of Leeds with a 121.83 split there. It's still quite tight in the middle field.
So Jake in the yellow cap that we've grown to recognise and love. Nice shot there at these 2 blue cap swimmers just behind. The Cardiff boys, Jacob Cook and Sean Bevan. You can see there as the shot widens, it is the lead swimmer Jake Sykes and Alexander Ball of Beckenham in the blue cap, just a body length back on him.
Yeah, it's Alexander Ball in lane 4, just a bit back there, but Jake Sykes from the City of Leeds is starting to stretch out as you come into the final 50. A good turn there as well. I don't think it must have been another soft touch there, Jake Sykes from Leeds, but he is leading the way.
And there's a lovely close-up shot of him in the backstroke. Look how still that head is. Was he looking over slightly there?
Yeah, I think he had a quick look there. Sometimes you do that, but the coaches will be on at him saying, you know, you can't be doing that. Focus on your own race.
And he's back to doing that now, and he's about 3 metres clear as they come into the final 5 metres. So he's going to take this first heat, and he does that in 2:44.76, knocking up a 5-second improvement on his entry time.
Yeah, good swim by Jake Sykes there from the City of Leeds, and closely followed by Alexander Ball from the Beckenham and Jacob Cook from the City of Cardiff from just up the M4.
So we see Jake leaving the pool there as we move on to heat 2. So on to heat 2 then. 8 swimmers here, all ready to go. So Thomas Jackson, City of Leeds, goes in 1. Barris A.K. of Thames County in 2. Ben Johnson of First in 3. Rowan Griffiths of Birmingham in 4. Pierre Oosthausen of Hereford in 5. Diego De Martin of Street in 6, Greg Roberts, Dundee City Aquatics in 7, and Sean Johnson of Swim Gwynedd in lane 8. Well, starting off pretty close here. Lane 1 going nicely, Thomas Jackson, but it could be anybody's touch here as they go through the first turn. In fact, it's Sean Johnson in lane 8, 38.49. About half a second faster than the previous heat. So a close one here. As they come towards halfway, the red cap Sean of Swim Gwynedd still has the advantage. Maybe just grown that a little bit up to about a metre on the 4 swimmers inside him. So he's going nicely.
Yeah, that was a good turn there by Sean Johnson as well as he comes out for the next 50. A really confident swim by him there.
Rowan Griffiths and Greg Roberts, lanes 4 and 7, contesting second, but a number of swimmers just tucked in behind them. But gradually Sean is extending his lead here in lane 8. So you can see him right down on the bottom of your screen there, just bobbing in and out of the screen. Now you'll see him more in sight there in the red cap, coming towards the third turn. And looking good here as he turns 2:02.84, so pacing just over the 42s.
Yeah, he's looking very relaxed there, Sean Johnson, keeping his head still as well, which is important in the technique of the backstroke, and he keeping those arms streamlined, going past his head as well, looking really confident.
So just needs to push on down this last length, looking maybe at something around the 2:45 mark, I think here, entered 2:49. There's a good tussle still going on between Rowan Griffiths and Greg Roberts for second place. That one I think is going to go the distance. The two white caps, two different clubs, Birmingham and Dundee. But it is the red cap swim Gwynedd swimmer, Sean Johnson, 2:43.91, so faster than my prediction. So he picked up nice pace down that last length. That will please his coach as well. He still had something there to give as a final push. Greg Roberts just getting advantage over Rowan Griffiths for second. 2:47.36 for the boy from Dundee. Takes a second and a half off his time. Rowan Griffiths third, 2:47.57. The summary up there for you now. And heat 3 ready to go. And we're away. Thomas Thorpe of Wrexham in 1, Kelvin Cockcroft of Aquabears in 2, Matthew Waldham of Peterborough in 3, Zachary Derrick of Keynsham in 4, Scott Birtles of Dundee City Aquatics in 5, Kit Lawless-Coombs, City of Leeds in 6, James Wilton, City of Canterbury City of Canterbury in 7, Ben Gilmore of Cockermouth in lane 8. Thomas Thorpe of Wrexham, he's really steamed down that first length in lane 1. 36.28, over 2 seconds faster than the previous heat. Does that fill you with glee as a coach if you really steamed the first length, or are you worried that maybe you've gone out too fast?
I don't know. It can be nerve-wracking if you don't want to be running out of steam on the first 50 in a 200, but the coaches will be, and the coach and the swimmer will both be aware of what strategy they're going for, and obviously Thomas Thorpe has stretched out a lead here, but in lane 7 as well, some good strategy there by Kit Lawless-Coombs from the City of Leeds. He's keeping it with him, and he actually might even get the touch here.
In fact, actually, I think it's the Canterbury boy, James Wilton.
Apologies.
1:17.35 is the one I was stumbling over earlier as well, so something about him clearly, but he is going nicely there. He actually touched in the lead at halfway in the yellow cap, and there's a nice close-up of him. So the camera crew getting some beautiful close-in shots of these swimmers, and you can see there a lot of water in between the two front runners here, lane 1 and lane 7. So they're probably not too aware of each other as they come to the 150. It's going to be lane 7 still, James Wilton.
Yeah, as you said, Duncan, they might not be aware of each other. The coaches as well will want to make sure that they've told their swimmers to concentrate on their own races. They'll tell them not to be looking side to side, keep that head still, keep looking upwards, and get those legs and arms going.
Keep an eye on Scott Birtles of Dundee. He has made good progress in the second half of this race, and he is doing his best to close in on these leading two, but it's still James Wilton in 7, Thomas Thorpe in 1, ahead of Scott Birtles, and it's going to be between the two of them as they come to the final 5. So it's all about finishing now, and the two of them absolutely together here. And who gets the touch? It goes to Thomas there. 2:40 dead. So 7 seconds inside his entry time.
Yeah, great stamina shown by Thomas Thorpe there all the way through. We spoke on the first length that he might have gone out too fast, but great strategy as well and great stamina shown by Thomas Thorpe.
So we should never have doubted him. He really had it there at the end to make sure of it, and he nailed his finish nicely too. So take 4/10 in the end from James Wilton in second place, 2:40 and 2:40.43, with third place Scott Birtles, 2:42.84. So on to heat 4. So still relatively early heats. The mixture of 11, 12, 13-year-olds in this one. And the field is Otis Newbury of Trowbridge in 1, Josh Lewis of Thanet in 2, Sam Crabtree also of Thanet in 3, Matthew Emerson of Sevenoaks in 4, Jake Lambert, City of Leeds in 5, Gethin Jones from Conwy in 6, Aaron Harrison, City of Leeds in 7, and his teammate Harvey McGreevy-Gill in lane 8.
Yeah, in races like this, a 200, positions can change so much, but swimmers have to get their breathing correct as well. Make sure that their breathing technique is correct, and they'll work on that for hours with their coaches before the race, and making sure that they're doing it during the race is a priority.
Sam Crabtree in lane 3, first at the first turn in the white cap. And then in lane 8, Harvey McGreevy-Gill, one of the two Leeds boys on the near side, just holding second, but Sam is opening up a handy lead here as they come to halfway. So you can see there, he is coming through the turn, about 5-6 metres up, 1:14.16, about 3 seconds faster than the previous heat at halfway.
Yeah, Sam just at the turn there came back up, turned right and had a quick look at the other swimmers, but he'll want to make sure he wants to concentrate on moving forward. He's stretched out a really good lead here.
Yeah, it's much closer for second place. There's 4 swimmers in that mix now. In lane 2, Josh Lewis. Lane 6 is Gethin Jones, and lane 8, Harvey McGreevy-Gill. And Harvey just fading from a promising bright start, but certainly no fading from Sam Crabtree. There's a gentleman there who's making himself famous at the turn end. But, sure, completely unaware that he has now had his picture around the world. Look at Sam going there.
Very confident, and a really good shot of Sam there, and that's just showing the technique he's shown in this race as well. Getting that breathing correct as well. You can have a lot of water splashing around you, and he's making sure that he's breathing correctly. And he's just dipped his head into the water there. Just to have a quick look.
So the 13-year-old from Thanet, a convincing victory for him, 2:34.42, and a big improvement on his entry time, 10 seconds. So nice swim from the boy from Kent. Gethin Jones taking second, swim Conway swimmer, and third place, 2:46.35 for Otis Newbury over on the far side, the Trowbridge boy. So Sam Crabtree there makes his way from the pool as we see the summary there. Nicely moved into place order for you. And back to the swimmers leaving the pool. Bit of shaking the water away as you get out. Nice shot also of the Sevenoaks swimmer there, Matthew Emerson, as he gets out. So on to heat 5, we've got an empty lane in lane 6 in this one, so 7 going, with Scott Lilburn of first in 1, Sebastian Di Siena of Peterborough in 2, Thomas Christie Smith, City of Leicester in 3, Charlie Reid of City of Leicester in 4, Oliver Jones from Swansea in 5, Alfie Morgan, City of Leicester in 7, and Dennis Cousins of Amphibians in lane 8. Lane 5 then, I think it's going to be Oliver Jones leading them at the 50, 35.56, pretty similar split to the last heat, within a tenth of that. Swim Swansea boy. So another strong programme. Is there a pecking order in Welsh swimming between the programmes? Who would you say is number 1?
Oh, that's a question I'm not going to answer. So, but no, Oliver Jones has shown a very confident swim here, and his technique's really good. You can see actually his fingers twisting through the water as well to make sure that he actually prevents the water actually going through the fingers, so you can get actually more momentum and into the turn there. He's looking very confident. But yeah, back to your question, Duncan. I'm not going to say a name there.
Oh, you diplomat, you. Well, you tell us then who you think is number 1. Hashtag BGSN Live. You know who you think is number 1 in Wales. Let us know what you think and why. But meanwhile, in lane 5, Oliver Jones putting in a bid to say why it's Swim Swansea.
It's quite comfortable sitting on the fence.
Does it not get you in a delicate place?
I think for the time being, I'm quite comfortable.
You want to keep your job with Swim Wales, I can see that. So 154.57, Oliver Jones's 150 split. There's my best attempts to stir it up there, completely failing. Never mind. Oliver Jones not failing at all. He's holding his own here. Just maybe closing a little bit on him. Dennis Cousins, who's had a really good meet in lane 8, the Amphibian. And in lane 4, Charlie Reid. They're the two challenging for second. But Oliver Jones, 2:42.31 entry time. Takes 8 seconds off that, 2:34.38. And 400 faster than the previous heat. That might be important. The 14-year-old then from Swim Swansea, taking the honours there. And there is the shot of him as he moves to the side, and the summary of the final result there showing Oliver's win, 2:34.38 from Charlie Reid second and Dennis Cousins third. On to heat 6, 2:38 to 2:41 the entry times in this heat. And all 8 lanes in use. Luke Evans of Neath M1, Max Jelfs of Maxwell in 2, Merrick Francis of Novio Cigar in 3, Jacob Goodman of Sevenoaks in 4, Benjamin Rayner, City of Leeds in 5, Adam Lynch of Thanet in 6, Oliver Willis of Street in 7, and Lewis Jones, Swim Swansea in lane 8. Just going back to that top club position, do you have any competitions between the clubs and any inter-club events where they can prove it in the pool?
Yeah, there definitely is, and obviously you have the local events, and you've got Swim Swansea. Well, if you're talking about local clubs in South Wales, Swim Swansea are, and obviously Pembrokeshire County, and I'm sure Novio Cigar will have something to say about that in Carmarthen as well. So you have, and then you have even the more local clubs like Neath Swimming Club, who are being represented in this heat by Luke Evans in lane 1. You know, very predominant local clubs, and obviously we've seen 1 or 2 swimmers from a very new club in the area as well, Celtic Dolphin Swimming Club, who swim out of Pontardawe swimming pool.
And a close one at halfway. Lanes 1 and lane 3 absolutely together. Merrick Francis just getting the edge by about 15 hundredths, 1:16.29 over Luke Evans in lane 1. But the two of them still pretty much together, and in between them, just a little bit back, Max Jelfs. You can just see him in the white cap in lane 7, and then through to the red cap of the Sevenoaks swimmer, Jacob Goodman in lane 4. He's lying in 4th place at the moment. But the action over on the far side, lane 3, lane 1, lane 2, and then lane 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just starting to stretch away now is Merrick Francis. So Novio Cigar that you mentioned earlier, they certainly have been right up there in these championships, and Merrick doing his bit for them.
Yeah, I know Austin Shortman down there, the lead coach for Novio Cigar, will be happy with some of their performances today. And I know, look, as a local performance centre, Swim Swansea, Pembrokeshire County Swimming Squad as well have had some very predominant performances.
Well, Merrick then was close in the first half, but he's broken away in the second half, and with a fast finish from the Sevenoaks boy Jacob Goodman, but he's not going to catch Merrick, who takes it 2:34 dead. So that is the new fastest time, about half a second faster than anything we've seen. Jacob with a very strong finish there, 2:36.16 for him. And in third place, Luke Evans. Luke from, just struggling to see where he is, Neath, yes. And there is the 1, 2, 3 for you. Merrick Francis, Jacob Goodman, and Luke Evans. 2:34 dead. The new fastest time then, as Heat 7 prepares to jump into the pool. It's the boys, as you saw, lane 5 there, still holding on to the block as you go in. I almost feel they're going to pull something in their arms when they do that, but they always seem to get away with it.
I'm sure their coaches worry about that as well.
Heat 7 then. Aaron Hurd of Modernians in 1, James Cross of Wigan Best in 2, Dyfan Jones of Church Dragons in 3, Dominic Indergood of Street in 4, Niall Dunn of Aquabears in 5, Liam Saunders, Heads of Valleys in 6, Johan Evans of Bridgend in 7, and Joseph McGawley of Leek in lane 8. Well, this one's shaping up to be close here. There's not going to be much in it at the first turn. It's the touch going to James Cross in lane 2, but only by a tenth, 36.10. Not quite as fast as some of the earlier heats. We've been in the 35.5 territory, but they may pick it up as this race progresses. Really, the whole field in a line here, coming down the second length. James Cross, Pevich just trying to break that, the 12-year-old. And he's now broken up to about a body length clear, going through halfway, 1:15.07. Second, Dyfan Thomas. Third, Dominic Indergood.
Yeah, Dominic Collier in lane 2 is just bouncing up and down. James Cross in lane 2 is just bouncing up and down there. He just had a quick look at Devon Jones in lane 3, but he'll have to concentrate on his own race. He's doing well at the moment, though.
So that's one of the things. It's very hard, I think, for these youngsters to do that. The natural tendency clearly is to see how you're doing, see who's coming up to threaten you, but just focus.
That's it. You do see the wondering eye through the goggles of some of these young swimmers, but the coaches will be drumming into them on a daily basis to concentrate on their own race.
Yep, so James Cross of Wigan, the 12-year-old, silver medalist in the 1500 free, so showing now his backstroke skills, and about a body length up on Dyfan Jones in lane 3, and then lane 7, Johan Evans. So that's the 1, 2, 3 as they're coming in. Don't think anyone will touch James. It's close for second though. Good finish from Johan Evans. Not quite getting it. I thought he was going to there, but not quite. Dyfan Jones holding it.
Johan Evans coming in there, we just spoke about earlier, coming in and hitting the pad to make sure, and Johan Evans really smacked his arm on the pad there, but it just shows that he is going right until the end. But sometimes you've got to be careful.
So the 1, 2, 3 there. James Cross, Dyfan Jones, Johan Evans. 2:35.18, 2:36.20, and 2:36.41. 4 heats to go. And heat 8 just preparing to jump in.
Look at Niall Lewis's start here in lane 3.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Just stood down by the referee just to relax for a moment. So just a wee technical problem. But I think we're back in business now. So just going through the field, Ben Garton of Peterborough in 1, Dominic Collier of Dorking in 2, Niall Lewis, Pembs County in 3, Thomas Ryan, City of Leicester in 4, Joe Stott, City of Leeds in 5, Harry Whiteman of Peterborough in 6, Thomas Harris, Sevenoaks in 7, David Fryer-Winder of Leek in 8.
Yeah, I just mentioned about Niall Lewis's start there. He was up high on the blocks right at the beginning there before the start whistle. They got called down, but he was up much quicker than some of the other swimmers. He's just fallen back a bit there in the field, but he's got a very natural bounce to his rhythm as well on the backstroke. But a real good swim down in lane 8 as well. If you keep an eye on that with David Fryer-Winder.
Yep, so we had the Winder-Winder debate yesterday, and we did establish that it's Winder, David Fryer-Winder. He came and told us that, so thanks for that. And he is going very nicely here in lane 8, the Leek swimmer. He's got about 1.5 meters on lane 4. Thomas Orion of City of Leicester, and turns 1:13.87. So a good second 50 from him. Around about 37 to 38 seconds. Over you can see there the battle for second place, lane 4 and lane 3. Thomas Orion and Niall Lewis, who you were talking about earlier, so he's still in the frame. But on his own in lane 8, David Fryer-Winder still leads, 1:53.07. I think some pad problems there, probably not giving us a split for Thomas Ryan, but he's in second place in lane 4. Close now for third between Niall Lewis and lane 6, Harry Whiteman of Peterborough. But still leading them, David Fryer-Winder. He's maybe coming under a bit of pressure now from Thomas Ryan, but I think he'll hold him off. Coming towards the final 5. And in the end, it's in fact pretty smooth. He comes in 2:31.06. So nicely managed swim there, and gives him a 5, nearly 6 second improvement on his entry time. And that is now the new fastest time, with the 3 cycle seeded heats to come. And the summary there for you: David Fryer-Winder 2:31.06, Thomas Ryan second 2:32.61, Harry Whiteman third 2:33.57, Niall Lewis just behind them. So on to Heat 9. James Davies, City of Leicester in 1. Jonathan Fairless of Torvain Dolphins in 2. Gareth Haberfield of First in 3. William Durrant of Bridgend in 4. Callum Mitchell of First in 5. Axel Sauko Palvula of City of Leicester in 6. Jordan Dodd of Bebington in 7. And Benjamin Lawton Aquasulis in lane 8. So this is maybe where you expect the centre lanes to start to dominate here as you go into the cycle seeded heat, and William Durrant of Bridgend is doing exactly that, the 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's looking very confident there as we get a good view poolside of the stroke as well, and he's got a natural bounce to his stroke, and he's looking very natural, and he's keeping his head still as well, not looking down at any of the rest of the field, keeping an eye on the ceiling, and you're just keeping an eye out for his turn now. Watch his turn.
And looked pretty well balanced that turn as he goes through in 1:10.67.
Still got a bit of pressure on his far side with Benjamin Lawton, I think, in lane 8, who's actually had a very good turn there.
Axel Sauko Parvolo as well in 3rd place, and then over in lane 2, Jonathan Fairless of Torvain also in that contest for 2nd. But, well, if there was pressure, William Durrant I think is dealing with it well, because I think he is extending his lead now as they come towards the 150. You can see there he's got about 3 metres on the swimmer on the near side. Aquasulis' Benjamin Lawton going through 1:48.55. So around about a 38-second split.
Another good turn there by Benjamin, but as you said, William is looking confident in the middle lane. But Benjamin, he's had some very good turns in this race, and he's looking quite confident, and he's going to most probably a bit of pressure in lane 2 as well.
So William, I think, swimming well within himself here, entered 2:23. I don't think it's going to be quite up to that pace. Not going to be a million miles away from it, but I think there's more in hand for later on. 2:24.81. I'm sure we'll be seeing him again this evening in the final. The Bridgend swimmer. 2nd, Benjamin Lawton, 2:27.71. Has to be happy with that. A 7-second improvement. And Jonathan Fairless in lane 2. Taking 3rd, also inside his entry time by a 1.5 seconds, 2:29.71. So there is William making his way out. Job done. Confirmation there of the 1-2-3. William Durrant 2:24.81. Benjamin Lawton 2:27.71. Jonathan Fairless 3rd, 2:29.71. Two more heats for the boys. And this is heat 10. George Hinton of Monson in 1. Joshua Monroe of City of Leicester in 2. Daniel Young swims Swansea in 3. Alex Hadley of Aquabears in 4. Henry Bramwell Reeks of Poole in 5. Ellis Lawson of First in 6. Ryan Retson of First in 7. And Johan Mason of Novio Cigar in 8. So we've got the youngster Ryan Retson in here, who's having a storming meet. He's in the 11-12 age group with 4 gold medals, and he'll be up against it here with the older swimmers, but it's all about a time for him to get a good position in the 11-12 final.
Yeah, it's good experience for him as well to be in the water with the older swimmers. Even though he's a bit further down the field in lane 7, it would be a very good experience for him.
Lanes 3 and 4 are the ones making the early running. Daniel Young and Alex Hadley swim Swansea and Aquabears respectively, and it's the Swansea boy with the advantage, coming to halfway. He's about a body length up, going through the turn, 1:09.19, so that is a 1.5 seconds faster than William Durrant's time. So pushing on nicely is Daniel Young.
That's a good shot there of lane 3's Daniel Young from Swim Swansea, the local boy in his own pool, swimming very well here.
Looks like they're maybe starting to close on him. Alex Hadley leading the challenge in lane 4 as they come to the 150. And it's pretty close. Let's just check the difference. It's about 9/10. Daniel 1:47.53, Alex Hadley 1:48.40. So we could have a race on here, and joining them as well in lane 6 is Simon Scully of City of Leicester. So the 3 of them now coming down the pool, with Henry Bramwell Reeks just behind them as well. And I think it is Alex Hadley in lane 4 is moving through here, so he's bided his time and struck as we come down this final length.
Great tactics by Alex Hadley, really pushed on in this final 50.
And he ends up taking it 2:24.68, just a tad faster than the previous heat. A tad being a term for 1300ths. Second place there is Daniel Young, the long-time leader, 2:26.01, and third Ellis Lawson, a cracking finish from him to take third, 2:26.14. So the swimmers clearing the pool as we just wait for that to be put in place order, and there it is. Alex Hadley, 2:24.68, Daniel Young second, 2:26.01, and Ellis Lawson third. So the final heat, we've no swimmer in lane 1 in this one, so 7 will go, all in the 13-14 age group. James Gilly of Welsh Independent in lane 2, Lewis Roberts of Mould in 3, Cameron Croot swims Swansea in 4, Daniel Moore Birmingham in 5, Simon Scully City of Leicester in 6, Lewis Waters of Newport in 7, and George Casey of City of Canterbury in lane 8.
Yeah, very good start, push off the blocks there by Cameron Croot. His father's videoing up here as well near us, and he'll be happy with that start from Cameron.
Now Cameron was the nearly man last night, 2 silver medals, 200 breaststroke, 200 IM. He has been on the top of the podium in the 1500 freestyle. See what he does in the backstroke here. Certainly on paper, 2:21.63 is the fastest entry time in the field. So he'll be looking to get back on top here. And at the moment, he's got about a body length advantage from Lewis Roberts of Mould in lane 3 in the white cap. Cameron swims without a cap. He did that yesterday as well, so obviously that finds that more comfortable. Any advantage or disadvantage in that?
Yeah, I think we spoke about this the other day, but you know, Cameron's, he swam the last few days without a cap, and there's only a few swimmers who actually done that over the last few days. But if he finds it more comfortable, he finds it more comfortable. But that's why he's also got a shaved head, I think, as well, so that it stops the friction through the water as well.
So no long hair for Cameron, and at the moment he's looking pretty good here. His lead is about 4 meters as he comes to the 150 in 1:45.08. So this is faster than we've seen. Pacing about 36 seconds. So would expect us to be in the low 220s here. 2:21.63 is entry time. So he'll be there or thereabouts, I think, unless he eases back down this last length. But no sign that he's doing that. Probably could if he wanted to, but probably maybe a good tactic not to. Push on hard, get into the habit of swimming hard in the heats, and in fact he does improve on his entry time by a second, 2:20.46, and that makes him pretty comfortably the fastest qualifier for the seedings final, so he'll be where he wants to be, I think, for that one. Lane 4. Second, Lewis Roberts, 2:24.84. Third, Daniel Moore, 2:27.50. Wait for confirmation of that. That's how it looks as the swimmers make their way out of the pool. And there we have the 1, 2, 3 led by Cameron Croot of Swansea, 2:20.46. Lewis Roberts of Mould in second, and Daniel Moore of Birmingham third. So we move to the girls now. 11 heats, 200 backstroke once again. Girls 10 11s and 12 13s. So in the first heat, Bethany Hook of Sevenoaks in lane 1, Alice Glover of Solihull in 2, Phoebe Hopkins of Swim Conwy in 3, Lucy Davidson, City of Canterbury in 4, Lauren Johns of Celtic Dolphins in 5, Megan Rogers of Pembs County in 6, Emma Lewis of Clantrasant in 7, and Alicia Salaku of Cossacks in 8.
Yeah, good start from Lauren Johns there from the Celtic Dolphins. I know Di Thomas, the Celtic Dolphins head coach, will be looking on intently from this. It's a really good first 50 by her.
So Lauren then, 39.38 for the first 50. How even paced do you want a 200 backstroke to be? They're usually faster in the first half from the push-off, but probably less so than from a dive in the other events.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think stamina obviously comes into play in the final 50. But most of these girls and obviously the boys will work on that a lot in their training and make sure they're eating the right foods to have the energy to swim the 200. Obviously.
Of course, Wales has one of the top backstrokers, probably the top backstroker in the country in the women's side, Georgia Davis. So if you're watching her, would you expect her to be fairly level paced or just still slightly faster in the first 100?
I think Georgia's unique as well, and Georgia will be more level paced, more so. But these girls are still young as well, and they're learning their trade to a certain extent, and they'll improve over time.
And it's Megan Rogers in lane 6 from Pembs County who has the advantage here. Of course, Georgia, along with the rest of the British team in Barcelona at the moment, still looking for a first medal there, but we're wishing them well. I'm sure all Swansea is behind them, particularly the Welsh girls. Such a narrow miss from Chaz Carlin in the 400 on day one. Fourth by, was it 900ths away from a medal?
Very close.
But anyway, back to this, and it's Megan Rogers in lane 6, who's been very steady in this first heat. 2:52 her entry time, so let's see how she does against that. I think she's on schedule to take a fair amount off it. On the near side, Alicia Solaku in second place, and then tight for third. Mark lane 6, Megan Rogers is the one who's going to take this one. And a nice improvement for her, 2:45.31. 7 seconds inside her entry time. Just check on second, because no time coming up in lane 8. At the moment it's showing for Lucy Davison in lane 4, 2:49.79. We'll wait to see if that is confirmed. Alicia was certainly up there in lane 8. Still, as you can see there, no time appearing in lane 8, so we just need to get that resolved.
Yeah, Lauren Jones just getting out of the pool last. She'll be a bit slightly disappointed to finish down in 5th after a good start from the Celtic Dolphin swimmer.
And you see there just appearing Alicia in 3rd place. So the 1, 2, 3 there, Alice Glove, well, Lucy Davison 2nd, Alicia Solaku 3rd, behind Megan Rogers, 2:45.31. And on to Heat 2, we have Greta Hampson of Wigan Best in 1, Rebecca Fisher of City of Leeds in 2, Sophie Blake of Torvain Dolphins in 3, Eve Goddard-Smith of Swim Gwynedd in 4, Chloe Watmo of Aquabears in 5, Amber Owen of Aberystwyth in 6, Demi Evans of Wrexham in 7, and Sophia Strinati of City of Cardiff in lane 8. Well, in a line now going down this first lane. You can see the two swimmers on the near side maybe are going to be the ones turning in the lead. And they are. Demi Evans just 200ths ahead of Sophie Strinati, 37.73. You see the two of them there in your shot. So of course very close to the camera there as they come down. And looks like it is the Cardiff girl, Sophia Strinati. About a metre up on Demi Evans beside us. So South Wales against North Wales, Cardiff and Wrexham. Is there a bit of a rivalry there between the South and the North?
I would say more so of Cardiff and Swansea, but I'm sure the whole of Wales are rivals against each other. They'll all know each other as well. You know, the girls and the boys, young swimmers, will swim against each other on a quite regular basis.
Sophia, they're a couple of years older than Demi, 13-year-olds, so maybe not that often swimming in the same age group. So See if Sophia can use their extra experience to good advantage. So far, so good for her. She's holding the advantage, in fact, building it, I would say, as they come down the third length towards the 150 point. And she's now got about 3 meters in hand as they turn just on the 2 minutes, 2:00:35. So pacing about 42 seconds. Sophia looking for maybe a 9-second or so improvement here. They're starting to gather behind Demi Moore now to put in a late challenge, led in lane 3 by Sophie Blake of Torvain Dolphins. Also started to move up lanes 2 and lane 5. That's Rebecca Fisher and Chloe Watmo. Sophia, though, will not be caught in lane 8. And she's looking smooth and controlled as she comes in 2:40:98. Nice 11-second improvement. And Rebecca Fisher showing a second, just in the end getting ahead of Demi Evans. 2:43:67 and well, in fact, Rebecca Fisher third, Sophie Blake now being credited with second, 2:43:17. We should see that confirmed, and there it is for you. So, Sophia Strenati, Sophie Blake, and Rebecca Fisher are the 1, 2, 3. Moving on to heat 3. Amy McCrosty at Dundee City Aquatics goes in 1. Paige Simmons of Newport in 2. Kimmy Buchanan of First in 3. Libby Jarvis of Peterborough in 4. Samantha Allen of Thanet in 5. Jessica Podger of Keynsham in 6. Katie Everall of Hereford in 7. And Mia James of Heads of Valleys in lane 8. Oh, Mia James going nicely there. Heads of Valleys, don't know anything about them, so can you fill me in there?
Yeah, Heads of the Valleys, that's up towards Merthyr Tydfil, that side of South Wales, but they're going well. Good start by them down there. We haven't seen many Heads of the Valley swimmers here, very much like the Celtic Dolphins Swimming Club, so I haven't seen many of them, but you see them dotted around, and obviously those coaches will be delighted that they're actually performing at this event as well.
So Mia off to a strong start in lane 8. She's now got to push on and try and hold that advantage. Katie Everall beside her and Jessica Podger in lane 6 keeping with her as they come down the second length. Mia with about half a metre being urged on from the side of the pool. I don't know whether you caught that on the camera, but lots of animation from the coaching fraternity. And it is Mia still just with the edge, but only by a tenth now, 1:20:87. So she's got to push on hard in the second half here and see if she can hold it. I think it might be the Hereford crew that are urging on Katie Everall in lane 7 from the side. Also still right up there in 6 is Keynsham's Jessica Podger. And then over on the far side, Amy McCrosty of Dundee. And it's getting tighter here. I think Mia perhaps just suffering from that fast start in lane 8 as being caught now. And they come to the 150. I think we might have a new leader. Let's just see. Yes, we do. It's Jessica Podger, 2:04:73 from second place. Katie Everall. Mia James now back in third. Let's see if she can push on and try and restore her position. It is going to be between the 3 on the near side here. So let's see if we can get them all in shot view. There we go. The 3 of them very well matched here. Half a length to go. Still looks like Jessica in lane 6 has just got the edge, but right there with her is the Hereford girl, Katie Everall, in the goldish cap. I think it's going to be between these two. Mia James just a little bit back. Still Jessica Podger of Keynsham has the edge, and she's going to take this one, I think. She does, 2:46:46. So a good tight race there. 3-4 seconds inside their entry times for these 3 on the near side.
Yes, Mia James from the Heads of the Valleys Swimming Club there. Not many of them around. Obviously, they swim at Ebbw Vale Leisure Centre in the southeast of Wales, so she'll be delighted with coming along and getting third, but I'm not sure whether she'll be able to make the finals with that.
No, I don't think so, but a 2-second improvement on her entry time, so you have to be happy with that. And there is the 1, 2, 3 summarised for you briefly before we move on to show you the starters in Heat 4. And there's the girls themselves as they go into the pool. And running through the field, we have Keely Smith of Wrexham in 1, Caitlin Ward of Swim Swansea in 2, Lowry Matthias of Novio Sirgar in 3, Louisa Twigg of Pembs County in 4, Hannah Croker of Trowbridge in 5, Natasha Hamilton-Walker of Sevenoaks in 6, Georgia Jones of Chepstow in 7, and Elfie Newbury of Trowbridge in 8. The Novio Sirgar swimmer, Lowry Matthias, is the one going off strongly here in lane 3. 36.82 at the turn. That is the fastest 50 split that we've seen.
Yeah, confident swim here by Lowry Matthias from Novia Cigar. Austin Shortman, the head coach down in Carmarthen, will be delighted with this, who's shown really good technique as well.
So she is about 3 meters up then in the red cap from lane 2, who is Caitlin Ward of Swim Swansea. And then lane 4, Louisa Twigg, 1:18.30, halfway.
Yeah, all 3 of those leading girls from local performance centres, obviously Novia Cigar, Swim Swansea and Pembrokeshire County, all local to this area, and they'll know each other as well.
And it is the Novio swimmer. Certainly had a very strong start, and she is building on that now. So sometimes we've seen the fast starters just fading, but certainly not happening this time. As Lowry coming up to the 150 mark, and she is well clear. About 4 or 5 meters with 50 to go, 2:00.85, so about 42 split. So we're looking for low 240s here, maybe 242, 243. Entry time for Lowry, 247.84. Well, he said there was no sign of her fading, but maybe just at the moment she's finding it a bit tough. And that's just opened an opportunity for the 2 swimmers either side of her, Louisa Twigg and Caitlin Ward, to close the gap. And it's suddenly down to about a body length here. So Lowry is really going to have to work hard in these last few meters just to hold them at bay.
Caitlin's coming back on the near side.
But it is going to be Lowry, so a little bit of a fright for her in that last 50. She seemed to hold her pace fairly well there. 2:43. It was the other 2 really picking it up. Caitlin Ward and Louisa Twigg. 2:43.67. And in fact, yeah, Louisa Twigg third. 2:44.68. Just to let you know that you're watching day 4, if you weren't aware, I'm sure you were, of the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals, live here. Over the player, and a bar will appear. Click on the cog on the right of the bar and select 720p HD from the menu, and hopefully that will get you in high definition. See the swimming even more clearly. On then to Heat 5. And we have here Annalise Bainon, City of Cardiff in 1, Lauren Harrison of Peterborough in 2, Georgia Williams of Chester in 3, Alex Lynch, Leicester Penguins in 4, 5 is Kayla Lawson of Modernian, 6 Rhiannon Haynes of Bridgend, Tia Ward in 7 for City of Leeds, and Lauren King of Newport in lane 8. So Rhiannon Haynes, 37.80 after the 50. The Bridgend swimmer in lane 6. Beside her, just 10 years old, Tia Ward from Leeds. And she is going really nicely, the youngster. What an experience for her to come to the Welsh national pool. Show what she can do in 200 backstroke, and boy, is she doing it.
It's really impressive swimming by Tia Ward. Only 10 years of age, as you mentioned, Duncan. Fantastic swimming so far. Let's see what she's like stamina-wise.
So she has about a second in hand. Rhiannon Haynes in second. And Lauren King, one of 3 swimmers vying for third. But it is the youngster, Tia Ward. You talked about them having no fear as a youngster, and it looks like Tia certainly fits into that category. Looks at these older swimmers, 11, 12 and 13-year-olds, said, right, I'll take you on. So that's what she's doing, and at the moment it's going pretty well for her. If anything, she's pulling away now, about 4 meters up.
Really, really impressed with this, and the City of Leeds Swimming Club will be impressed with this as well. They obviously have quite a lot of fan base down here as well, and coming down in numbers, and they'll be really impressed with Tia here.
Yeah, we're seeing them in their yellow tops and the cowboy hats with the hooters and the other noise-making equipment, and adding great atmosphere to this meet. But what a swim this is from Tia Ward. Absolutely no sign of her fading at all in the second half of this 200 backstroke. So this is an exciting talent that Leeds have got here for the future. So you've seen it here in Swansea. Tia Ward, 2:38.48, 8 seconds inside her entry time. What is great at that young age, just to be demolishing your times as you go into the pool. And she, I'm sure, will be over the moon with that swim. Rhiannon Haynes second, and Lauren King third. So as the girls leave the pool.
There's Tia Ward leaving the pool there now. Really impressed with her today. Fantastic swim.
And the summary there for you. Tia Ward, 2:38.48. Rhiannon Haynes second, Lauren King third. Well, for me, I think that's maybe was the swim of the morning so far. I really enjoyed that swim from young Tia. But here we are on to Heat 6. Isabel Bunn, City of Leeds in 1, Charlotte Nestor of Wigan Best in 2, Popea Bramwell Reeks of Bournemouth in 3, Katie Taylor of First in 4, Sophie Dodd of Dumfries in 5, Francesca Crocker of St Ives in 6, Hannah Sloan Bridgend in 7, and Sophie Smith of St Thomas in 8. Well, over on the far side, Isabel Bunn of Leeds. So will have taken inspiration from her young teammate, and she's off to a good start. Popea Bramwell Reeks up there as well in lane 3, and they're the 1-2 at the first turn, just 2/10 apart. 36.58 Isabel split. That's a fast start for her. Number of swimmers still very much in the mix though in the centre lanes. We've got Katie Taylor and Sophie Dodd, the 2 Scots girls, first from Falkirk and Dumfries. Sophie just moved into the Dumfries programme from Carlisle, so obviously lives very close to the Scottish border there in the southwest Scotland, northwest of England. And the 4 swimmers then all together. Lane 3 is Popea Bramwell Reeks, just with the touch there at halfway, 1:17.05. So a good tight contest here between the 4 of them. That just puts the pressure on them a little bit, doesn't it? Harder to maintain your stroke when you know that these swimmers are right beside you. Temptation maybe to over push.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just had a quick look at the lane 3 and 4. They're just having a quick look at each other as well. And you can get easily distracted, especially at this age, to what the swimmers do next to you. But as we've said before, the coaches will try and focus them to say, look, you need to concentrate on your own race here.
And Katie Taylor with a strong third 50, just edging into the lead now, 1:58.36 from Isabel Bunn second, Sophie Dodd third. Katie has gone well this week. She's in the 11-12 age group and will be doing her best to hold on with the competitors not far behind her. Still Isabel Bunn right there, Popea Bramwell Breeks and Sophie Dodd all just half a metre or so back on Katie. Well, it looks like Katie should hold on to this one, and she does. 2:38.71. A tad slower than Tia Ward in the previous heat. Quarter for a second, thereabouts. Second place, Sophie Dodd. Third place, Isabel Bunn. Should see that confirmed on your screen shortly as the swimmers make their way out. There is the first swimmer, Katie Taylor, and there is confirmation of her win. 2:38.71. Sophie Dodd second, Isabel Bunn third. Whoa. Told you that night out was a bad idea, boys. But if that's the only wee wobble, then we're doing well. The team is made of strong stuff. So, onwards. Not necessarily upwards, but definitely onwards. Elizabeth Arnold here in Heat 7 takes lane 1 for Swim Swansea. Megan Nicholas of Bridgend in 2. Amber Mason of City of Leeds in 3. Katie McKenzie of Skye in 4. Kate Rainsford of Birmingham in 5. Isabel Cockerham of Leyland Barracudas in 6. Emily Johnson, City of Leeds in 7. And Livy Gibbs of Bridgend in lane 8. Keep an eye on Emily Johnson here. 4 gold medals in the 10-11 age group, probably been the star of that age group so far. She's in lane 7, up mainly against swimmers in the 12-13 age group. Lane 8 off nicely. Livy Gibbs, and in lane 5, Kate Rainsford. And they're the 1-2 coming down the second length, both in white caps, Bridgend and Birmingham respectively. It's the Bridgend girl though, it's got the advantage on the near side of the pool, down at the bottom of your screens. And you see there she's got a pretty healthy lead now coming to halfway. Turns 1:15.25. So the pace is up from earlier heats. That's a couple of seconds faster than anything we've seen. And Livy pushing on strongly.
Yeah, Livy looking really confident, and then out of the turn there down the bottom end, she hasn't even looked over. She's really focused on actually just motoring through, getting her legs kicking and getting her arms going past her head, and she's looking really, really good at the moment.
The battle for second is tightening up. You can see over on the far side we've got Elizabeth Arnold and Megan Nicholas starting to challenge lane 5's Kate Rainsford. That's for the minor places behind Livy Gibbs. 1:56.72 for her at the 150 mark. About 41.5 pacing, so should be comfortably under 2:40 here. And holding a lead. Maybe the lead is slightly contracting here, with Kate Rainsford still holding second. Ahead of lane 3 now, Amber Mason moving up into third place. The lead's gone. She is finishing strongly. But Livy Gibbs will not be caught in lane 8. She's going to take heat 7 and coming in 2:38.66, 5 seconds inside her entry time. In the end, slightly slower than some of the heats we've seen, so a strong first half, 1:15, and then 1:23 in the second half, so just feeling it tough, I think, there at the closing stages there.
Yeah, Livy's stamina wise just slowed down a bit there, but as she gets out of the water there, she's should be happy with that.
So the 1-2-3 then, Livy Gibbs first, Amber Mason second, just 500 ahead of Kate Rainsford, 2:40.31 and 2:40.36 respectively. As we move on to heat 8. And the swimmers there all ready to go. And we have Charlotte Hook of Sevenoaks in lane 1. 2 is Amy Thomas of Newport. When, in fact, I think we've got our reserve in 2, Hannah Abassi. 3, Kerry Sinclair, City of Leeds. Hannah Abassi also City of Leeds. Natalie Roos in 4 from Peterborough. Tegan Frizzell of City of Cardiff in 5. Phoebe Barrett, City of Canterbury in 6. Eloise Clements of Thanet in 7. Helena Spoger Ward of City of Leeds in 8. So nice for Hannah Abassi to get her opportunity. Let's see how she does. Tough to go into a fairly advanced heat as a reserve. These swimmers with much faster entry times. But I'm sure she'll take full advantage of her opportunity to swim. At the front, though, it's lanes 5 and 7. Tegan Frizzell and Eloise Clements, Cardiff and Thanet, respectively. Not very much between the two of them as they come to the 100-metre mark. Maybe just the blue cap of City of Cardiff's Tegan Frizzell, I think, is going to turn in the lead. And that is confirmed by the scoreboard, 1:16.82. Again, slightly slower than the first half we've seen Livy Gibbs in the previous heat, but of course she faded a bit in the second half, so this could be faster by the time we get to the end. Still, it is Tegan holding the advantage in 5 from Eloise Clements, and then over on the far side, Charlotte Hook of Sevenoaks. And that remains the 1-2-3 as we approach 150. Tegan 1:57.27. So fastest time still 2:38.48. That youngster Tia Ward. So let's see if that can be beaten this time. The shot there on Tegan. And then we pan out to see her lead, and coming up at her now, Eloise Clements in lane 7. Just a metre or so behind now with 10 to go. I think Tegan should hold her off. So they will be the 1-2. Tegan Frizzell, 2:37.22. So that is now the fastest time we've seen. And an improvement of 3.5 seconds for her. Eloise Clements taking second, 2:38.17. And Charlotte Hook third, 2:40.79. And Hannah Abassi did manage a PB for her troubles. Then the reserve coming in 2:51.86, a couple of seconds inside her entry time, so well done to her. So heat 9 going in as we clear away the girls from the previous heat. And off we go. Madeline Hoare of Stratford Sharks in 1. Florence Marks of Hart in 2. Lucy Buchan of First in 3. Martina Raskowska of Swim Gwynedd in 4. Kira Schlossen of City of Leeds in 5. Ellie Westerby of Hereford in 6. Her teammate Lucy Grimes in 7. And 8 is Honey Butterworth of Harrow. Well, this one looks much closer. All 8 swimmers coming down the pool. Pretty close. Touch going to Ellie Westerby in lane 6, 37.01, just 200ths ahead of Honey Butterworth. And nobody making a decisive move yet. Lucy Grimes in lane 7. Maybe now just edging into the lead. One of the 2 Hereford swimmers there, both almost together. First and second now. Lucy and Ellie. And they are 700ths only apart. 1:16.39 for Lucy, 1:16.46 for Ellie at the halfway point.
Yeah, they could potentially feed off each other as well, as 2 Hereford swimmers know each other very well also, so they might encourage each other to push on here.
So 2 13-year-olds. Over on the far side you can see Madeline Hoare and Florence Marks in lanes 1 and 2. And lane 5, Kira Schlossen in that contest for 3rd place behind the 2 Hereford girls. Again, really you can't separate them, just 200ths apart. Ellie Westerby this time getting the touch, 156.85. So we'll see who's going to have local bragging rights here between the 2 of them. I don't think anybody else is going to get close to them. So this is a battle of Hereford. Lucy Grimes and Ellie Westerby side by side here. And we're going to be very, very close here. Lucy Grimes maybe now just has the edge. Ellie coming right back at her. Almost synchronized here as they come in. And it's who's going to get the touch. All on finishing there. Just 300ths in it in the end. Ellie Westerby takes the honours. 2:35.83. 2:35.86 for Lucy Grimes. So they went into the pool with Ellie faster, but there was really nothing in it there. Kira Schlossen taking 3rd place, 2:39.61. So you can see there Ellie Westerby as we see the scoreboard there. So still unofficial at this stage as we wait for it to scroll into position order. But you can see there the 1 goes against Ellie Westerby's name, 2:35.83. Lucy Grimes 2nd. Kira Schlossen 3rd as the girls come out, and the next girls standing there focused and ready to go. So this is Heat 10. Harrow's Laura Barnes in lane 1. From 1st, it's Kirsten Laurie in 2. In 3, Beth Constance of Dundee City Aquatics. 4 is Isabel Wild of Mould. 5, Emily Arnold of Swim Swansea. 6, Charlotte Marshall of Ramsbottom. 7, Sophie Hart of Lincoln Vulcans. And 8, Victoria Ganant of City of Leeds.
Yeah, keep an eye on Emily Arnold from Swim Swansea in lane 5. Mark Arnold's daughter, the Chief Operating Officer of Swim Wales.
Just thought you'd get that mention in before you get reprimanded. So let's see how Emily can do. She turned in 2nd place there at the first turn, just behind Charlotte Marshall. Yellow cap and blue cap, respectively, Charlotte and Emily.
I thought I'd mention that as he's not far on the right-hand side watching this race.
Yeah, he's got a very serious look as he looks down pensively. And he'll see his daughter turning in 2nd place, still just behind Charlotte Marshall of Ramsbottom. 1:14.98 for her at the halfway point. But Elizabeth getting a nice turn there, and that put her right alongside with Beth Constance, Isabel Wild not too far behind them, Sophie Hart as well. So this one is shaping up to be a tight contest as they come down length 3. Still those 2, Elizabeth Arnold and Charlotte Marshall, but it looks like Elizabeth with the edge. Beth Constance from Dundee moving up nicely in lane 3, so she has joined the party now, and it's going to be the 3 of them. And let's see who gets the turn. It is Elizabeth, 1:56.48. So 50 to go. Can she hold it together here with 4 swimmers not far behind her? She's about half a metre up and looks to be holding that at the moment. Maybe the main challenge is going to come from Charlotte Marshall once again.
Yeah, it's still very tight there, isn't it?
And Charlotte is definitely closing now on Elizabeth as they have 10 metres to go, and the 2 of them now side by side, and it's going to be a close between the 2 of them. They are absolutely together as they come into the wall. Let's see who gets the touch. You'd see them dipping in, and Emily just getting that touch very nicely there.
Well done, Emily, there. That was a really tight finish there, and she's just got the touch in.
And that was how to finish, really. You can see her just ducking into the wall there and just getting that 10th at the end to secure the win. 2:37.30. Charlotte Marshall second, 2:37.44, with Sophie Hart third, 2:38.12. Good race there. And that will send Mark home a happy man.
He still looks quite nervous, but yeah, he'll have a bit of a sigh of relief there.
That was 2 seconds away from Emmeline's entry time, so we'll be looking for more, I suspect, in the final on that one. So as the last heat then in the pool, ready to go. And the swimmers in this final heat: Megan Bannon, City of Leeds, goes in 1. Chloe Williams swims Swansea in 2. Lois Masters, City of Cardiff in 3. Pavan Marwaha of Harrow in 4. Arabella Haley of Pembs County in 5. Katie Cooper of Wigan Best in 6. Sophie Bravin of Swim Swansea in 7. And Hazel Fox of Pembs County in 8. Pavan Marwaha, 2:35.55. I think we have another reserve in this one. That's Arabella Haley getting her chance in lane 5. So don't expect her to stay with the leaders. She's doing okay. Not too far detached, but it is lanes 4 and lane 3. Pavan and Lois, Harrow and Cardiff, with Pavan in the white cap about half a metre up. Very long, stretching arms there from Pavan.
Yeah, Pavan looks really natural in the water as well, and she's just stretching out a bit further now to extend that lead as we go into the turn.
1:12.36, so this is faster than anything we've seen. Pavan Marwaha going in the 12-13 age group. So not seen her. I don't think we've seen her in these championships so far, the Harrow girl. So she is taking full advantage here, but she's not got away from Lois Masters just yet. These two well clear of the rest of them. And there's only, well, a metre maybe between the two of them as they come to the 150. Still Pavan leading them through that. 151.59 against 152.12. So 6/10, just under. Nice turn from Lois. It's keeping her very much in the mix here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight finish on the last 25, yeah.
You sort of feel that Pavan could push it on here and maybe just taking it relatively comfortably. Or maybe it's just her style. But the two of them, 10 metres to go, are stroke for stroke now. And I think maybe Lois wants this more. And she's maybe just edged into the lead. Who gets the touch? It is Lois Masters, 2:31.73. Pavan Marwaha taking second, 2:31.88. And they'll be, I think, side by side again in this evening's final. So look forward to that. The two 13-year-olds in the 12-13 age group will, I'm pretty sure, have lanes 4 and 5 there. So that could be a really good race to come. You see there quite a gap between those two, and third place Hazel Fox, 2:37.87. So that was a good way to finish off the backstrokes. We're back to breaststroke now with a sprint to see us through the rest of this morning's session. The boys 15 to 18, followed by the girls. 3 heats just for the boys, so not too many have decided to go for this 50 breaststroke. But we'll enjoy the ones that go for it. We've already had the 100 and the 200 swum in these 15 to 18 age groups, and the two age groups 15, 16 and 17, 18. So in the 15 16s, we've had 2 different gold medalists in the breaststroke, James Ross and James Sims. And similarly in the 17 18s, George Boast and Michael Ross. I'm just looking down the start sheets, and I do see James Ross there. I don't know that I see any of the others. So James will be looking to see if he can get 50 and 100 breaststroke double. He'll be going in heat 1 here. And you can see him there with the yellow Warrington cap going in lane 5. Just with his foot up on the block there, and up onto the blocks they go. So 6 swimmers in heat 1. Samuel Matthews in 2, Adam Horton in 3, Kieran Hodson-Kilroy in 4, James Ross in 5, Ross Haynes in 6, and Richard Healy in 7. So the sprints there, 1 length of the pool. Just go as fast as you can for as long as you can. Lanes 4 and 5. Side by side, Kieran Hodson-Kilroy and James Ross. I think that's going to be the order. Kieran takes it. 32.84. Both of them in the 15-16 age group. James just behind him, 33.19. So both inside their entry times. Ross Haynes third, 33.94. Those 3 with a fair advantage over the other 3. And you saw the summary there as the swimmers make their way on the scoreboard end of the pool as the boys over at the other end up on the blocks for heat 2. So on to heat 2, we have David Burton of Novio Cigar in 1. Rhys Ormond-Cunningham in 2, Adam Pullen in 3, Tristan Cuer in 4, Adam Chillingworth in 5, Adam Pritchard in 6. Tristan Cuer of Newport has got the advantage here in the blue cap, and a body length advantage is quite a big advantage in these sprints from Adam Chillingworth. They're going to be the 1-2, Newport and Street swimmer respectively, and Tristan there 32.29, so it takes 6/10 off his time. Another in the 15-16 age group, the young end of that, the 15-year-old from Newport, and about half a second faster than the first heat. Summary there for you. Adam Chillingworth second, 33.49, and it's Rhys Ormond-Cunningham in third, 34.44. So just the 1 heat to go. So in fact, looking at this, just the 1 swimmer in the 17-18, so I'm not sure what they'll do about that in the final. Wait and see. Third heat, Carl Taylor in 1, Thomas Hitchin in 2, Callum Wellman in 3, Joshua Morgan in 4, Ian Elric in 5, Kai Green in 6, Grant Davies in 7. So lanes 4 and 5, Callum Wellman and Joshua Morgan side by side here. Joshua Morgan of Dover Life. Well, I was going to say he had the lead, but yeah, maybe he does. Ian Elric it is beside him. These two side by side. Let's see who gets the touch. Ian does by 200s, 32.05. That is the fastest we've seen. Ian is the 1 in the 17-18 age group in this program. So what are they going to do there? Is he going to have to swim on his own in the final?
I'm not entirely sure. But that was obviously a really good swim by Ian, and right on the touch again there with Joshua Morgan coming in. There's a 2/10 of a second right behind him, so it just shows how important the touch is.
He was only a 1/10 of a second away from the 17-18 meet record there, so Ian Elric from first, Joshua Morgan there second, Callum Oilman third. So we'll try and find out what's happening on that with the 17-18-year-old. But of course you'll see what happens if you tune in this evening as we move on to the girls' 50 breaststroke, 14 to 18, 5 heats go in this one, and this one will conclude our coverage of this morning's session. It's been a good session. We've seen some really good racing, breaststroke and backstroke this morning. Just a little pause before we get this one underway. You can see the swimmers there. That's the first swimmer, Jennifer Dixon, in your shot there. And as we broaden out, we can see 5 of them. In fact, there are just 5 of them in this first heat, so there they all are. Just having a look around them. Some maybe are slightly more distracted than others. It's about getting in the zone here when you just got a little pause at the blocks before you're called onto them.
Yeah, sometimes this can be beneficial, sometimes it can't for certain swimmers, but obviously some of them will be battling with the nerves here, but I think it's just a bit of a delay with one of the blocks in lane 2, I think it is. I think that's all sorted now and they're ready to go.
Good spot there. So the whistle goes and they're up on the blocks. And off we go, 39s and 40 seconds, the entry times here, with Fionn Williams in 2, Alexandra Sack in 3, Poppy Jenkins in 4, Jennifer Dixon in 5, and Beth Page in 6. And looks like it is lane 4, Poppy Jenkins of City of Cardiff, the only one with a sub 40 second entry time, 39.96. Alongside her is niece Alexandra Sack in second spot. These two looking like they're going to take 1 and 2, although the first girl, Jennifer Dixon, trying to push on. It's very close in the lead, though. Let's see who gets the touch. Whoa, that was close. Just 300ths in it. Both of them under 40 seconds. Poppy Jenkins, 39.81. Alexandra Sack, 39.84, with Jennifer Dixon third. And there's a nice shot of the Cardiff girl, Poppy Jenkins. And there you can see 39.81 against her time. Just 300ths in it with Alexandra Sack.
Yeah, Neil Golden and Neath Coach might be just slightly disappointed with the touch there by Alex Sack.
They've actually changed that round. 39.84, Alex Sack given the lead there.
Oh, Neil's happy.
As we move on to Heat 2 then, we have Hedwyn Boyles in 1, Grace Watts in 2, Jasmine Booth in 3, Caris Thomas in 4, Eleanor Bird in 5, Naomi Hughes in 6, Ellie Parks in 7, Lucy Glover in 8. And sometimes you do get bad touches and that needs to be corrected by the officials. So that's what happened there. Eleanor Bird, this time the Welsh Independent, is looking very strong in lane 5, and a body length advantage is a big advantage to take in a 50, and she's convincing there. Coming up 35.82. I'm not wondering about that, but she didn't look like she was 4 seconds ahead of the field, but see if that is confirmed. That would be huge if that is her time. Showing second, Caris Thomas, and Grace Watts third, 39.98 and 40.01. I suspect that 35.82 is going to be adjusted.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a bit closer than that. We'll just see now on the board, and once they, there we are, yeah.
And confirm their 38.51. That is a much more realistic time there. But a good win for Eleanor. Second, Caris Thomas, and third, Grace Watts. On to Heat 3 then. Isabel Booth in 1, Eleanor Booth in 2, Catherine Ross in 3, Abby Hayward in 4, Terry Johnson in 5, Lydia Stratford in 6, and lane 8, Olivia Beavers, no swimmer in 7. And it's lane 3, Catherine Ross of Warrington. We've talked about the Ross family quite a bit over the last few days, and Catherine leading the way here. Looking for her moment of glory, the 14-year-old. And she has also got a pretty good advantage here over Abby Hayward in lane 4 and lane 2, Eleanor Booth. So Catherine there, 35.30, and that was a strong swim from her, 36.77 entry time.
Yeah, Catherine, one of the youngest swimmers in that heat as well, then with 16 and 17-year-olds. Only the other 14-year-olds is Isabel Booth, but a great swim by Catherine Ross.
And you can see her there making her way out, and summary there. Abby Hayward in second, just see her time there, 36.65. There is cleared now for you. Eleanor Booth, 37.14 in third place. 2 heats to go then in what has been a busy morning session. Coming up to the 3-hour mark on transmission. Heat 4 then. Gemma Price in 1. Victoria Molson in 2, Emily Gordon in 3, Chloe Laforge in 4, Georgia Petch in 5, Melanie Rowland in 6, Ruth Bridgman in 7, Ashley Ann Morris in lane 8. Well, this one is a lot closer. Lanes 4 and 5. Chloe Laforge, Georgia Petch. Georgia Petch looks to have the edge here, and now she's starting to stretch it out. So good swimming from the Leicester girl. She is going to take this one. Said it was close, but in the end it wasn't close at all. 35.43 for Georgia. Chloe Laforge second, 36.74. Emily Gordon taking third. So that one going, well, not quite with the seeding. Lane 5 ahead of lane 4. Lane 3 in third place, which matches her seeding. But a good swim there from Georgia, 35.43, proves her time by 3/10.
Yeah, just like Catherine Ross in the heat before, Georgia Petch, only 15 years of age, youngest in that heat, doing a great job.
So the last heat of the morning session is underway. Jessica Devereaux in 1, Emma White in 2, Kirsty Hunter in 3, Tiffany Bachelet in 4, Emma Williams in 5, Annie Keppel-Palmer in 6, Heather Lees in 7, and Leda Avery in lane 8. And looks like it's Annie Keppel-Palmer of 7, who's just showing, starting to move up now. Lane 3, Kirsty Hunter, double breaststroke gold medalist. And lane 5, Emma Williams of Llantrisant. And it's the 2 yellow caps of Malsobra and Llantrisant. And it's going to be Kirsty Hunter, I think. Let's check on her time. 35.44, so very close to some of the swimmers that we see in the previous heat, but Kirsty in the older age group, so I think she'll probably have lane 4 in that one. The other swimmers that we saw in the 35.3, 35.4s, both in the younger age group, Catherine Ross and Georgia Petch. So we're going to have a good sprinting finale to this evening's finals, I think. So we are done with this morning's session. So that was session 10. It's scheduled to finish 12:15. We're a wee bit earlier than that, and we're coming in just after 12:05. We're very grateful for your company this morning. Very grateful to you, Mark, as well, for your company once again.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back once again for session 11. That is scheduled to start the swimming at 1:30, so we'll be on air a little bit ahead of that time. Hope that we'll see you then. Meanwhile, you can keep up to date with all of the results at swimwales.org, and you can have a look at today's action and the previous day's action by visiting YouTube on the Quipu TV page, so youtube.com/Quipu TV. And of course, you can tweet us and see what everybody else is saying on hashtag PGSNLive to let us know what you think about these championships, the transmissions. So thanks once again, Mark. We'll be seeing you very soon. Reminder that session 11 will come on air just before 1:30, so you've got about an hour and a half to get a bite of lunch and maybe get some fresh air. It looks like a nice sunny day here in Swansea, so that's what we'll be doing. And in the meantime, it's a very good afternoon from the Welsh National Pool in Swansea.
Hi, I'm Steve Parry and I'm here to tell you about British Gas Swim Britain. British Gas, they've got a great aim. They want to get more people swimming regularly by 2015. So in order to take part in Swim Britain, you've got a team challenge. There's 4 of you. You've all got to swim 1,000 metres. You do 250 metres each in a relay until you've done the 1,000 metres. Swim Britain is going to help you get fitter and healthier, and they're even going to give you tips along the way. It's all going to accumulate in 10 events in September at venues across the country. Now, logistics of this event are super easy. You're going to get a swimming cap, a t-shirt and a timing chip. You pick them up at the venue on the day. So all you need to think about is the regular stuff. Your swimming goggles and a pair of trunks. You could wear these or perhaps some of these. You might want 2 towels as well instead of 1. So you'll need 1 towel for poolside and also a towel for when you get changed at the end. Maybe a bit of shampoo as well. And last but not least, make sure you take some water with you. So how does the Swim Britain relay work? Well, you've got to get your teammates. Here's one of mine, me Chris, just happens to be an international swimmer. I'll have some of that. He's going to lead off. Let's go, Chris. Yes. When he's done his 250 metres, he's got to make sure that his timing chip registers. Don't worry, there'll be people there on the day to make sure that that happens. Chris is then going to walk over to his second teammate, who's going to be in the transition area, and he's going to give him a high five. Nice high five. Then Chris is done. He's good to go. He can go have a little bit of a rest. It's going to get very crowded if all of you are waiting at the end of the pool. So we've got a rule. Only the person that's swimming next can be in the transition zone. So Swim Britain's going to be like no event you've ever done before, largely because of these bad boys. They're actually called boys, and you're going to have to swim around them. When you're swimming down the pool, you've got to keep the buoy to your left-hand side. And when you're swimming back up the pool, you've got to keep it to your right-hand side. Just keep an eye out for them. Big orange things, can't miss them. Stay as tight as you can to the buoy. You've only got to swim 250 metres. There's no point swimming any more than that if you don't have to. Once you've got your team together, make sure you get the opportunity to train together. Set yourself both an individual goal. You know what? Challenge the other guys on your team as well. You might surprise yourself and with some good training, beat the time that you thought you were going to go. What about making some hoodies with your team name on there? You're taking on everyone else in Swim Britain. You've got to get in there with the right frame of mind. Maybe you want to go in some fancy dress. I don't suggest you swim in the fancy dress. That might slow you down a little bit. Maybe you can even come up with your own song, you know. I can see all four of you doing the Gangnam Style. Maybe not. But most of all, make sure there's some cracking banter between you and your teammates, and let's maximise the fun that we're going to have on Swim Britain. Good luck and enjoy.